could be playing it safe, but not here with fear. Now we're playing with fate.
Don't be fooled or mistaken by my angel face. I'm just a hot-head looking for a reason to break. I'm the wizard in death, I'll come visit you next. Just put my name on it next to your very last breath. I'm caught inside the fire again. I'm caught inside the fire again. I'm the wizard in death, I'll come visit you next. Just put my name on it next, tell your very last.
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back.
Yeah, motivated, I'm focused. Came a long way from the lowest. Yeah, gotta get it, the mindset, gotta put it in motion. This is the moment, gotta one up my opponent. Back then they ain't noticed me, now they know it's me. I'm the chosen. It's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
Yeah, whole lot of times they doubt it. I wouldn't be who I am without it. Sleepless nights, I count it. it all paid off, it's really astounding. I had to keep the faith to elevate, hope for better days, they were coming. Now we can celebrate, knowing every day is abundant. Yeah, it's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
Anytime you clock a butterfly, I flip a switch, keep a secret, let you come inside. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me.
나의 속도가 돈이라면 Benz on me 더 세게 괴롭혀봐 나를 rain on me 다가서면 bang bang 전부 걸어 게임처럼 너의 고개를 떨굴 때는 dance on it 모두 몸에 걸어 눈이 빛나는 걸로 전부 걸치고 난 이 노래는 것들일 거야 발밑에 쫓아와도 너는 절대 못 껴 넘어질 배포도 없는 애들은 no 따라오지 못하는 건 내 알바가 아니지 그래서 the voice not my type 아니 거리동이 트면 판이 바뀌지 이기는 건 당연하니 cause my type 시시하게 겉으로만 판단하겠지 웃는 얼굴 어서 저렇게 잘 봐 날 멍청한 애들이 여기 자꾸 넘치니 박아겠어 네 몫을 내못 가 짜증나면 질러 I don't like me cool At least night to night girl들만 불러 money on the fool I'm a boss to be or zero 뭐든지 다 내게 close 말했잖아 내가 뱉는 대로 내가 다시 look Told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself
told ya 느리게만 보여 눈이 핑 돌아가는 놈들은 한 곳으로 모여 잠위 ride 머리 위로 투 그래서 이거 누가 대신에 money dance on a private jet 여긴 닿을 수 없는 거 올려 넣어 bus 하늘 위로 떨어지는 너를 느낄 like demons 자식 날고 기는 것들은 전부 천했지 왜처럼 증오들은 나의 밑거름 꽤나 좁아져도 눈의 시선은 어느새 풀려 숨죽여 Hey you better you turn when I pull up Can't slow me down 나 끝이 없는 ride 멈출 수가 없잖아 I'm that 소희 망설임 없이 주사 위로 여전히 예상 못한 곳으로 향하지 like we to go
Told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself I'm so bossy I'm so bad I told to myself
Yeah. Pull up to the spot with the squad, let the bass drop. Laser on the up, brought the chug, this a K-Watch. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, hit 'em talk, let 'em take shots. 007 on the block, keep the aim cocked. Pull up to the spot with the squad, let the bass drop. Laser on the up, brought the chug, this a K-Watch. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, hit 'em talk, let 'em take shots. 007 on the block, keep the aim cocked. What? Check my pedigree, I got legacy in my pop. You playing hopscotch on that top notch on the block. Slimming slow like me, no. Spice it up with the sauce. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it. I said, bah, bah, bah. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it. I said, bah, 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 yeah, my Lord said don't do it. I said, bah. Call you up like what you doing? Ride around with the squad, no losing. Link you up with the Reaper, keep it moving. Yeah, they can't do it how we do it. Run it up, can you keep up? Play follow the lead top. Big
Hello everybody, welcome back to Challengers EMEA. The playoffs, it's day 3, we're on to our best of 5s, and today's matchup is going to be great. I mean, we have had some ups and downs over the course of this week, but I mean, it is Na'Vi Junior in the grand finals, and that means that we're going to once again say goodbye to one of our teams that I think everybody would have assumed would make up the top 3. We've already said goodbye to Job Life, and now we're going to have to say goodbye to either UCAM or Reborn. I'm your host for today, Twiggy, and I'm joined today by Echo and Mitch. We're switching around every day here, and I'm glad to have you guys here. How are you doing on this wonderful day, Echo?
Too hot. It's less hot than yesterday, but still too hot. I'm not ready for it. BO5 finally. Hopefully we don't just see Split, Haven, Lotus, because I'm a bit bored of those maps. I want to see something else. But yeah, I'm feeling good as long as we don't just see those 3 at the start of the BO5.
You, Mitch?
Yeah, very much the same. Not as hot. Thankfully, I'm well ventilated over here, but maybe because I'm freshly watered, it's we might be heating up as the day goes on. But I expect the same from this series as well. Really looking forward to a banger. And look, this is a BO5 that I think a lot of people expected to see, but maybe expected to see it a little later on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's take a look at what got us here, because, yeah, I think some surprises. If you're just joining us today, you might be a little surprised to see what's going on here. When we talked to UCAM after their first win against Job Life, I believe it was Bold, was saying that Na'Vi Junior, they surprised us in that match against Reborn. We can't wait to see what they're going to do against us. I'll tell you what, they demolished them, is what happened. I mean, the first map was a complete blowout. The second map, not quite as one-sided, but very much still. UCAM stood no chance against them that time around. They're going to have to hope that they can get a rematch against them and some revenge against them in the grand finals. But before doing that, they're going to have to take out Reborn in a best of 5. We've, as Echo kind of mentioned, only really seen 3 maps over the course of this one. We have only seen Split, Haven, and Lotus so far, and everything we've seen so far has been 2 out of the best of 3 as well. So at the very least, if we do get to more than 3 maps, we're guaranteed to see something a little more. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I think our teams are pretty set in their ways right now. But let's talk about them, of course. UCAM, I think coming into this one, we're probably the favorites to win the tournament. I don't know. There's probably a couple of different schools of thought on that one, but they've been mainstays in Challengers EMEA for a while now, so you expect big things from them. They did amazingly in the EMEA Clash as well. So, you know, they have been putting up numbers, but fell to Na'Vi Junior yesterday, which lands them in the lower bracket, Echo.
Yeah, a little bit of a shock, to be honest, but this just feels like an echo of Challengers Stage 1. They were in this lower final, and this was where they got knocked out previously, so they're going to want to try and at least improve on their position last time. They had some really nice moments, despite the fact they lost against Na'Vi Juniors yesterday, but it was still quite a dominant loss.
Yeah, I think it's been nice to see UCAM, especially Ollie's era with his sort of growth over the last couple of months. I think back to his time in VCT, and I think he's fixed a lot of those issues there. Whether it's the team that he's on, you know, having more of a leash on him, or his read on the game. He's currently sitting, if I'm not mistaken, with the most first kills per round, and also the lowest first deaths per round, which out of Sentinels, which is really impressive to be putting that up. We know he's a solid Cypher, and I think across the board as well, when you look at Bold, Bisc, I know we'll talk a little bit about them later on, but it feels like a roster with a lot of potential. And as you said, Echo, this is a roster that is a mainstay. I don't think it's that much of a reach to say that this is a team most people would have favored to be in that final for sure.
Well, they're up against Reborn today, and of course Reborn, you know, we had touted as some, you know, new Turkish talent coming through, really exciting stuff. In fact, their win against Job Life was very one-sided in the first lower bracket game, but unfortunately they do find themselves in this situation due to, again, a surprise loss against Na'Vi Junior, and that does mean, of course, they're going to have to go through UCAM Esports to get through into the grand finals as well. I wonder, Echo, do you think that best of 5 favors them more, or do you think UCAM Esports are more equipped to take that one on?
I think Reborn, if they can keep performing on the individual level, I'm sure we'll talk about some of these individuals later on. If they can keep performing with those individuals, this could definitely go their way, because the big thing with UCAM is UCAM's very kind of single player focused. They rely on Bisc very heavily, whereas for Reborn, they have the double duelists that they love playing both players incredibly good. If they can keep those numbers up throughout all of the different maps, including the maps they're not so good on, I do think this could go the Turkish roster's way. But it's going to be a long series either way. It's going to be all about keeping the momentum and keeping yourself at high energy, which, you know, the Turkish teams usually need.
I think it's always going to be an interesting game when we see these sort of clashings of styles where you can play that more strategic, more peeled back. I think you see this across the board, even in terms of their operator being much less aggressive, being more structured in terms of having those set fallbacks as you move through the round. Then you look at Reborn on the other side is the exact opposite. It is the Turkish Valorant, which I will give the caveat that we used to always say, and it used to be just all out aggression. It was come out swinging and see if you can knock them off their feet, but it has developed, and I think Reborn is also a very good example of that sort of evolution of Turkish Valorant, where we've gone, okay, the strength is that we can just duel them better, we can just be better individuals, that's our region's strength. But how do we build on that? It's things like the retakes, for example, for Reborn. They're much more willing to play them, they're very regimented, but you see that every moment that they're getting ready for a fight, everyone's itching. And once they get that go order, it's a flood. It's tempered aggression. They choose their moments for it, and it makes it really fun to watch. But it does make this almost a rock, paper, scissors. But I don't know who has the upper hand in terms of the style clash.
Well, Mick, speaking of which, I mean, we wanted to highlight, I think, first of all, let's take a look at kind of the spearheads of the team. We'll take a look at a head-to-head between Bisk and Deadink, and tell me what you see in this.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, Deadink, I mentioned that there's different styles across the board. Deadink is someone that will play that hyper aggressive role. This guy is happy to get involved in early fights. He's happy to go looking for picks on the defense. If things are a little bit quiet, you know he's getting in there and getting involved. Now, Bisk, sure, you're seeing him there on the Neon. The Neon players play the way Neon players do. When you come to the Yoru meta, of course, he's going to be an aggressive player in that meta. You kind of had to be, or you were playing with half an empty hand. But when it comes to nowadays, like I said, much more peeled back, much more reserved if you do see him again off that Neon role. And I think the clash between those two will be Deadink going looking for the fights and Bisk sitting back waiting for the fights to come to him.
Yeah, there's definitely something here with Deadink as well, though, that is that actually his first deaths are pretty high. You often see he will be going aggressive looking for those picks, but he does die first a fair amount of the time as well. It's that high risk, high reward compared to the more safe play that Bisk typically goes for.
Which I guess also, just to touch on that, makes sense, right? When you think about the comp difference between them, like if they're running this double dive, then more often than not you will have, especially with the double smokes, they run slightly less utility in terms of breaching through. You're relying on that sky, but the idea of Deadink, sure, he can die first, but Kachao is often going to be like on the raise, blast packing up behind to re-clear that space to trade out. So I think that's another important part, is like they're not afraid to throw themselves at their opponents like waves against the rocks on the coast.
Wow, that's a beautiful way of putting that. That's amazing. But look, we always talk about, I feel like we always talk about duelists. It's so easy to talk about duelists. The stats are right there for that. But Echo, you wanted to highlight some of the support players. So talk me through the kind of head-to-head between support structures of Famzi and Reezy. Yeah,
absolutely. So Famzi specifically is one of those kind of initiator players most of the time. You can see Fade most played. Very often not going for the hyper aggressive kind of timing peaks, which we see Reezy go for. We talked about Reezy yesterday with his retakes on Haven, very much going for timings for those FOD retakes, whereas Famzi is much more structured. You can see the thought process before he goes for a fight come through, whereas with Reezy, it's intuition, he's fast and quick. And those different support structures, they really fit into the team's playstyles. Of UCAM, they want to play structured, relatively flowcharty, and Famzi feeds into that with his utility incredibly. Reezy, you see more on, Omen, Viper, things like Sova sometimes as well, but he's much more aggressive, looking for timings, and is kind of the yin to the yang of the aggression of people like Kachao and the Deadink.
It is definitely going to be interesting. Like you said, yin and yang actually is better than what I went for earlier with the rock paper scissors. Except I suppose they're not going to be locked in a battle in that sense. But one thing I wanted to touch on as well, just for Reezy, is that, like, again, I love the fact that you brought up intuition. It feels like in a lot of moments, this guy has got such a good read on when to give space and when to fight back for it with his team, especially like saving on things like his recon darts. I know a lot of the focus of this series is going to be on Split, because these teams, like, first of all, I think everybody expected to be in the pool. It'd be a massive surprise if it wasn't. But also, it's where both teams have played kind of the most, and where UCAM had that upset recently against Navi, the fact they got 13-4 and so on. But when we move outside of Split, you'll see Reezy take that Sova a lot more. Obviously, Sova's not been active on Split for quite a while, and that's where I think he really does his best work. Not to diss his Omen, but I think in the initiator role, it's something else.
I mean, we talk about Split. We're going to have to talk about Split. Split is definitely going to be in the map pool between these two teams. Where it lands, we don't know yet. We'll take a look in the map veto later. But we wanted to highlight, I think, the team compositions on Split. Mitch especially brought up Bold. So talk me through what you wanted to take a look at there.
Yeah, so basically, again, this map is where we have the most data, so it's the best place to draw a comparison. And I think the way that they play here, even just from the composition sheet, you can see right away what's going down. Like, one team is playing heavy in there with your Sentinels. You're running, obviously, a Viper on this map is what most teams decide to run. It has a lot of impact. Your Vice as well. There's that passive op from Bisq that we talked about, just peeling back and playing much more reserved, I suppose, in those defensive side picks. But then when you go to the other side of things and you talk about the composition that Reborn are bringing to the table, it's completely different. They're coming in with double smokes, double dive, and a Sky. This is a team that doesn't want to play a super slow round with Sentinel utility covering their back. Instead, they want to initiate fights. If they don't hear contact, they want to execute on a part of the map to get that information, instead of just popping a recon and going, oh, there's a few guys here. No, they want to run it down and find out how many bodies they can put on the floor.
And one of the things they struggled with when they were going for this hyper aggro try and put the bodies on the floor was the Sage, right? The Navi Junior brought out. That Kalosha, incredible on that agent, just as 1 point, but they really struggled with the slow orbs and the timings of Kalosha's walls, how they could play around it. As we look towards UCAM, they've got the Vice. It's still stall potential, right? You know, you've got the same kind of, you've got a wall, you've got slows, but it's very different, and making sure that they can default enough before they go for their pops to follow up against the double doorless is going to be something incredibly important on Split for Reborn.
I think as well, when we do look at that map, I think specifically here, since we have so much data for Split with how much they've been playing it, you wanted to take a look at some of the post-plant issues for these two teams. I think especially when we look at the stats on Split, Echo, we can definitely learn a lot about them.
Yeah, I mean, for both maps here, but we can see, especially for UCAM on Split, they have big post-plant issues. You usually expect your post-plant win percentage to be around 70 to 75%. They are way lower than that, especially on A. The retakes, they were struggling to stop them. And it's a similar story on Haven. We tout how good Reborn are at their retakes, but their post-plants have a much lower win percentage, which is not how that should go in those situations. And in going into this game here, it's going to be all about if they've managed to improve their post plants. We saw an improvement on it yesterday for UCAM on Haven specifically, especially over towards C, but it wasn't perfect. And if they can start to exploit, especially with how good Reborn are at retakes, these post plants are going to be very important to look at.
That's exactly it, right? The fact that Reborn have such good control over those flood retakes, what we've been complimenting them on here, seems to play into a weakness of UCAM, and that's one element where then I look at, okay, what is the cornerstone map in this series? We've talked about it. It is Split. It's where they've played the most for both teams. But when you think about the most recent Split game for UCAM being that 13-4 where they got demolished, by the way, they won the second half pistol, ended up with 4 rounds. Like, that is a big worry, because if we already think that Reborn could have the upper hand in just the way that this season has played out, the way that both of these teams play, the advantages, the disadvantages. And then we look at the fact that UCAM are coming into this series off the back of a stumble like that. It definitely is worrying for me, because something, Twiggy, you mentioned earlier is that, you know, Turkish teams, momentum based, it's such a big thing, it's such a big narrative, something I've spoken recently to a lot of the Turkish teams and players about, and they all said that they, like, literally unanimously said that the Turkish players are more emotional, they play with momentum more, and it means much more to them to have it. One team's coming off a loss where the map that's been a cornerstone of the season was a real struggle. I mean, they got whitewashed on it, and the other, the Turkish team, has momentum coming off the back of a win. It definitely is a scary time for UCAM, who seemed like a shoo-in to be a grand finalist. Now it looks like there's a bit more of a question.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we talk about momentum, the biggest thing that can build that momentum is the map veto, the order that these maps are going to come through in. And obviously with a best of 5, you just get 1 ban each, and then it's basically just plain sailing from there. But it is important which maps come first, especially if it's your strongest for you. It's Breeze gone immediately, no surprises there from UCAM. And I think we're going to see, I mean, Pearl or Fracture is next. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Well, now the question is just who is most comfortable on what map? Are there going to be any surprises in the first 3? And then from there, Echo, I think it should be plain sailing.
I don't think UCAM will pick split. We've seen them pick split before, and it was a bit of a rough decision. Yeah, especially after yesterday. Ascent, this is going to be interesting. They're picking it into a Turkish team. That's dangerous. Yeah,
you know, Twiggy, I think the reason you said that, you know, a Pearl or a Lotus going out would make sense is because it's kind of a strength for UCAM and something we haven't seen for Reborn. And the Pearl goes out, Lotus is open, UCAM pick Ascent, a map that neither have played throughout this stage. That's a little bit of a left field pick for me. You're starting somewhere that we don't know how the foundation is built. Now, either that means UCAM's preparation is phenomenal on this map and they feel very, very ready, or it means they've made a mistake. You're playing Ascent against a momentum-based Turkish team. That is a mistake I've seen many teams make, and I haven't seen many teams recover on it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see a world in which this starts out 2-0 to Reborn, and it's a difficult road back for UCAM here. Obviously, Split could go either way. It's very much a well-played map for both of them. But yeah, Ascent starting out, I really hope to see something surprising here from UCAM. If they're going to go ahead and pick that one, then you'd hope it's going to be very much in their favor. But at the very least, we're seeing a map that isn't Split, Lotus, or Haven in the first 3. So guaranteed we're going to see a new map in the pool here.
We still have Split, Lotus, Haven as
we do. Yeah, I mean, like, come on, you can only ask for so much. Beggars can't be choosy here, but we've seen far too much of the same maps. I think somebody floated Ascent the other day, but it never got to it, obviously. Okay.
Yeah, like, I think that's the issue there. But I do think that this maybe seems to me like UCAM are going for a strategy I don't necessarily believe in BO5s, is picking your best map third. I don't really like that strategy. There's some teams really love it. You can see it in a lot of BO5s. I think especially against momentum-based teams, if you need to get that momentum on your side, just pick your best map first. And maybe Ascent is, but why they've not picked it before becomes the question then. Maybe they were saving it for this?
Maybe. I mean, look, if there was like a week gap between, then I'd say, oh, well, they've obviously prepared it in the downtime. But if we're preparing it in a day, then, you know, fair play. I'm excited to see the ceiling. Famzy on a Phoenix, though. Phoenix on this map goes hard. Kichao's taking out the Yoru. We don't get to see a hell of a lot of Yoru anymore.
I mean,
the Waylay as well. Like, I think this is a really nice comp from Reborn. This is going to allow them to go for their incredibly bursty style, surprise UCAM, even when they're on the defense, and that would be quite good. Famzy's put up incredibly polarizing performances on Phoenix so far. On Fracture, it was incredible, but on other maps, it's been one of his worst performances ever. So I'm hoping he can bring some of that Fracture performance back into this.
I think...
Sorry, go ahead, Twiggy.
I'll bring that right at the end. You go.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, I can see a lot of value on this map, especially for a Phoenix, and comparing those two, Fracture, I think from a Phoenix player's perspective, in terms of the choke points you get, I could see a lot of ways that performance could follow. I do love the idea of bringing in the Phoenix Jet combo, but again, my worry is always going to be, you've played Ascent as your first pick when neither of you have played it, which is also weird, against the Turkish team. This to me is a crazy strategy and not crazy good.
Exactly, and I think that segues into what I wanted to say before we throw it to the casters. I mean, if there's anything we have learned so far from this playoffs, it is that all of these teams love momentum, and so many of them have fallen to this kind of trap of getting into a bad mindset. Take a look at Job Life, how they played against Reborn in that lower bracket first match. By the end of the first map, it looked like they were completely down and out of it. I am worried here for UCAM, but maybe they can bring something out of the locker that we weren't expecting. I'm going to throw it over now to our casters so we can find out. Pavlos and MP.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, very exciting times, but nerve-wracking for both teams competing today as they are both on the chopping block. I really love the fact, MP, that the whole idea of the desk was to break down what could potentially happen, taking up on historical data, analyzing it, but we got nothing on Ancient. So that's exactly where the series is getting going. This best of 5 starts right here, right now on Ancient.
You mean Ascent?
You mean Ascent?
I think we're,
oh my God,
Ascent!
VALORANT Caster.
Oh no! He's done it again.
Just forget about it. Just move on. Ascent. Yeah, carry on, MP. Carry on.
I think you have a great point. I'm glad to see a new map here as well. We're hopping into Ascent without any historical data in this year, because Ascent was gone for so long. And now we get to see how these teams face against each other. Reborn, quite surprising pick of this Yoru. If you check in VCT, only G2 and PaperX has ran Yoru in this map after the nerfs.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast play from UCAM already entering the site. And there's not going to be any stoppage from Reborn either. Looking to group up a 5v5 on the retake. You've got a bit of a collapse trying to happen near tree. But no one around from UCAM. They've set up in the site. Not really going for anything complicated. No aggression after that either. And you look at the util available, no flashes. It's just going to have to be the paranoia, which affects replayers, crucially enough. Reborn get off onto a high note quickly. Deading, getting 2, and even having the ability to get out of their spot 3. UCAM struggling to get on the board here. And Jesse, last man standing, will get closed in on in absolute comfort by Reborn.
Oh, Deadink, is he continuing the form from yesterday? Brilliant performance yesterday. Kachao, he was amazing as well, but completely overshadowed by Deadink, and he continues that form, fighting those first 2 picks, getting so much ground on the side, then just refracting away, making sure that his team can come and close in the round. A brilliant performance. And to me, when we check at the compositions, I kind of favor the side of UCAM. I don't really like the Yoru anymore, but when it's so confident pick for your team, sure, go for it.
Yeah, I kind of follow the narrative, but I'll also be the devil's advocate, MP. We said that Neon is slowly moving out of favor, exiting the limelight, but Reborn can still rep that pick, no issue at all. Sure, maybe the Euro pick is a different story, but, you know, there are still strengths. When an agent is nerfed, it doesn't render them useless. It's just that you'll need to utilize it differently.
Yeah. I think you kind of have to be a great player in that. You have to run it as your main. You have to think outside the box. Usually, overreactions are things that happens when agent get nerfed.
Good setup for Battle.
Yeah.
He's only able to get away with 1. Deading rendering a few players unable. But he doesn't get out of way either, so there's an opportunity for UCAM to cross. They use the caves to get onto the side, though. Low HP bars, and Reezy takes care of them. Famzy at least gets attributed the spike plant, but it doesn't feel like this story is going to last too long. Reezy doesn't even go for the reload, doesn't need to. 2 bullets are enough to lock that down.
UCAM must be happy with that result. They got the spike down. Also, Famzy has run it back for the upcoming round. One of the reasons why Phoenix is so strong, especially in Ascent, the attacking side, it's usually quite easy to farm those orbs. It's usually quite easy to get 3 or 4 run it backs on the attacking side. And Famzy already having 1 on the 3rd round of this attacking half means that UCAM are in a great place. Now they just need to capitalize on that.
They do. First buy of the game.
Look
here
at
for
Deading.
UCAM.
No way.
Operator.
Online. Damn.
It's actually kind of crazy given that the rest of the squad is like, yeah, we're just going to go for a simple bonus here. Not going to fully invest. We know we're going to go for the big guns next one. Yeah. Deading says, why not now?
But stuff also, because Famzy has running back, you can maybe use that ult, but you'll probably just get the ult off. And don't find the first pick, unless I was thinking UCAM maybe going towards that B area, falling back from A, but it seems like they really want to go towards A.
Yeah, you've got a couple of scoped guns on this area, a Marshal and Operator side by side.
I have the spike.
And it seems like the choice has been made. Sure, Reborn have explored outside of garage. You know you've got no one nearby in that B site. So you're happy to keep 3 players dedicated in this direction. Dedic gets out of dodge. Kachao cannot say the same. And while Dedic is falling low, UCAM getting a lot of success from the A side exit.
That's the tough part for Dedic. You have to go for a save with this operator, sure. I think Reezy, Batu will probably try and look for something because they have the economy. The operator completely rendered useless by that one miss.
Yeah,
I think so much damage as well.
Sure. And if Dedic goes down there, I think that's actually a disaster for Reborn. Maybe not so, because we know how deadly Dedic can be on no matter what weapon. He was boasting a Sheriff a lot of moments before. I think he even got a quad piece on the Sheriff the other day, or was that Reezy? That's the thing, when you've got so many stars on one team, it's just so hard to deal with. And I guess that's a conversation that we've been having about UCAM as well, right? Who's the star here? Sure, you've got Bisk taking a lot of these duelist roles. Famzy can step in on as that second duelist from time to time. He can be very flexible. But you don't really have that stardom that players like Dedic and Kachao can bring to the table.
Yeah, and I think that has been the conversation throughout this year as well. And why UCAM is so successful, they have a great team. The 5 players work so well together. They don't necessarily have that star, like you said. Bisk, I think he has performed great, especially with that Yoru, but right now, I think he's struggling. Quite quick round towards that A main area. He's getting some control down. Oh, damn, that was hot.
Yeah, he takes his time to throw in the paranoia, which causes him to fall down quite low. 20 HP will be the level of health he'll be at for the rest of the game until he's taken down or survives. We'll see how that goes. Nevertheless, no trades early doors. UCAM show their presence towards this A site, but the spike teetered towards the eastern front. I think an aggressive position. This actually could pay dividends. And you've only got Kachao's flashes available for you if you're Reborn, right? And they've already been used.
Right here.
Smoke is caused to be respected. Getting posted up. If it's a slow peak for UCAM, it would be ill-advised.
Be right back.
Oh dear, want to go in for the look. Sees 2 players, wants to walk back. Bisk wants to seize the opportunity to aggress. Makes a great decision to dash forward, and it works out. But they may have gone overzealous here. Pushing outside of A main simultaneously, and Kachao can stay on top of the case without an issue at all. Now, UCAM, can you stabilize? You need a pick, and it has been found by Bull. There's a coil. Even on 20 points of health can deliver. And it's left a 1v2 scenario for Onizera to handle. Spike down. Buy some space with the smoke, especially to give him some room, but Batten up to the higher angle finds out the head. So Reborn back onto their winning case.
That's the tough stuff for Reborn, or for the side of UCAM. Reborn, they have the star players. It doesn't matter if Dedic falls right there, because Kachao is right after him. He will be able to find those 2 picks to equalize the odds, make sure that his teammates can rotate towards the site and hold it down. Sure, UCAM gets the spike down, but it's not quite enough in the end. I love how UCAM actually started that round. They kind of wanted to choke out the operator, make sure that there was no chance that Dedic would find that first pick. Just go fast. Take the main controls instantly. No Bisk. Operator in hand as well.
Kachao's looking to get greedy. Yeah, it works out. I love these little mini-games we're seeing, MP. Multiple times you see Reborn try to take these micro-aggressions at them. UCAM is giving them a go. But they'll realize that they're playing into their opponent's playstyle. And always a Turkish team will come out on top in situations like this.
That was a perfect pick from Reezy as well. I think Gachao threw in a flash. I don't think it actually affected Bisk. Or Reezy still capitalizing off of that. It's quite hard for UCAM to actually do anything.
Stealing sight. Great paranoia as well. The moment that Reborn, well, UCAM actually trying to play aggressively, they get stopped in their tracks. Yeah, even with that pick, I don't think Bald is feeling too comfortable about the situation. There's a clear idea of what's going on. What? Distracted? Confused? It's providing an opening for UCAM. All of a sudden, a 2 versus 2.
Wait, I think Jesse actually TP'd in A main, which caused Dead Ink to look back behind him.
Important 1v1, and Reezy will win it. So even under pressure, and when mistakes are made, redemption can be brought in order. Bald. 2 picks of the good for him already. Not the sure available, but it's never going to be used in a situation like this. On the download, there's only one real position at Dink lands. Batanax close distance though. The classic is all that is needed in that moment. And Reborn, albeit dropping the ball midway through the round, are able to keep things cool by the end.
That was crazy. It looked insane, but I think I heard a TP in A main. Jesse probably just crossing that main angle to the other side, caused Dead Ink just completely missed the timing. Luckily for him, Breezy and Batu will take that round back, and UCAM, they're on the back foot. They have to go for a timeout. Usually the toughest side for Ascent is this attacking side. UCAM, they definitely have the composition to do something here, to find some rounds. And I love the Phoenix. I think Phoenix one of the better agents here. With the close corners, you can utilize the curveballs, especially now that Yoru isn't as strong. I think if you want to stack a double duelist here, Phoenix probably one of the best options.
Very true. Really helps a lot with the 90-degree angles.
Yeah.
But yeah, first thinker taken in the series, in the match. A moment to figure out how to approach the next crucial steps of this half. But it's so far, it is Reborn that have demanded respect. UCAM getting surprised. Both teams getting surprised in the upper bracket against an academy team, no less. Navi Jr. really showing up with a nothing to lose attitude. And now both teams have to battle it out on the elimination block on a lower bracket final.
My ultimate is ready.
Oh, he wants to go for it.
No way!
Another one!
He's just weaving in and out of battle in such finesse. It's ridiculous. A battle operator. This guy cannot slow down. And instantly, after the timeout, this round is rendered useless.
I'm not sure if there's any players from Job Life watching this, but I'm sure that's a familiar sight to see for them. Yesterday, Derek was on fire. Throughout that split, he was doing those type of plays time and time again. Oh my.
The first shot's pretty basic, right? All the operator players will pretty much connect it, but then there's the readjustment. And you think you'll play it a little bit safer, just hold another angle. No, this is Dead Ink we're talking about. Throws aggressive utility, self-assisted, and gets both. Gets both.
Crazy.
How does he get away with these?
And even that, after that, Kachao would have been there to assist him. He threw a flash as well. The layering of Reborn, the double duelist. I mean, sure, Derek is shining bright as ever. This time around, it's Kachao. Gonna get those eco frags. I'm sure Bolt. I think Bolt was the only one with the rifle in that round. And right now, Reborn is going for the easy pickings.
Spike hasn't crossed onto the site yet, even though Olazera has made a few steps in that direction. fancy. Point blank, though, may have found himself a weapon to upgrade to. But Reezy yet to be dealt with, and Kachao knocking on the back door. Things get tougher by the second. Good spray down, a triple for Kachao overall. Jesse finds an upgrade, but it might be too little too late. 40 seconds on the clock. You do have from the shadows, so an opportunity for some sort of a cool play is at hand. But with Hezekiah over onto that A site, again, limited in terms of chances.
30 seconds left.
We'll give it a good old college try, however. He can isolate a pick would be ideal, but the camera will be his downfall. Easy checking in the right direction, also thinking it's best not to take the fight. And as Jesse is distracted with a step behind, it's a classic
10 seconds
situation where Reborn don't give him anything. And with that, we'll close it out smoothly.
Little heads until we're home, yes? Good.
I love how disciplined they were in the 3 versus 1 situation. They don't want to give anything to UCAM. And I think that's a great showing of the maturity that this roster has, alongside all of that confidence and crazy plays that Deadink and Kachao has as well. And you have these 3 other players that can absolutely close out the round as well.
Early mid-aggression coming out from Reborn. No one there to receive it from UCAM though, so no picks will come Reborn's way early. But it's a lot of information. If Kachao keeps on moving forwards, it builds up so much, and the spike is nearby. You might as well spot it. Jesse's gone for the lookout, but still gets a prize. And boys, it's a scary sight seeing Kachao in your back lines. Dimensional drift. They want to not leave anything to chance. Spotting out a couple of players is huge, and Reezy will try and capitalize upon it. Knows Boulder is at the same angle. Kachao aggressive, but Reezy continues the pursuit. Reborn, we're seeing a lot from what we've seen yesterday, and that is utter sheer dominance.
One enemy remaining.
Yep, nothing much can be done. Bisq is only able to convert 1-2 overall in terms of frags for UCAM, but Reborn, this is only their show.
They're the one making plays. Really proactive. Great push into mid. And I love the conditioning from Reborn that they've done, especially in B main. They've been aggressive there, meaning that now Bolt actually had to go there to help Olizera get any control of that B main. That kind of opens up the mid, especially when you have 3 players focusing on taking A main. I think that was part of their win condition, getting that run it back there. But Reborn there is just playing completely on game. They're so far ahead of UCAM right now. They're in their head.
I completely agree. I mean, technically there's 4 rounds still left in the half. A potential for a 7-5 would it be a bad ordeal for UCAM, but from what we've seen so far, haven't had reasons to believe that UCAM have got many buy rounds in them left on the attacking side. Let's see if there's a change of approach.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what approach you have. When whatever you do, you'll get your head ripped off his shoulders time and time again. Kachao is him. Living rent-free in the fallen skulls of UCAM.
That's crazy. Some consolidation for Bold, but nothing he can do right here. Kachao, knowing exactly where UCAM is going to use that flashpoint, or curveball rather, playing anti-flash, instantly peeking after that. The brilliance. I mean, sure, it's a basic play when you know you have a flash agent on your opposing team, especially a Phoenix. That's so... That's a big corner that you kind of have to flash. It doesn't matter what you have on your enemy side, but it's brilliant from Kachao. Just fighting it after the flash and then going forward after it as well.
He played anti-flash for his own peak.
Yep.
These guys have a 2-in-1 package, I'm telling you. So many things they can function on them by themselves, on their own. Okay. But this time around, UCAM are able to take side control, and that's different to what we're used to. Rifle for Bisq. Numbers advantage. Doable. Hunter's Fury to deny the plant, though. Providing the rifle to a player with more shields. Reezy
down
able to
A.
get a pick, and the bomb hasn't gone down. And Bald is trying to create a lurk. Doesn't come down to him, though, considering Famzy has played this one correctly. Runs it back. So UCAM still maintaining the numbers. Rifles around for UCAM. Reborn. Now is when the individuals need to shine if you want to continue this streak. Two from a high ground, one coming in from tree, and Batanax wins the first duel. Reezy, now he knows due to the neural theft. Batanax jumps in with the shorty! This man's an acrobat! And now Famzy wants to walk in again, but the spike is being held. Batanax not toying with the thing. Derek walks in, but given it's defused halfway, won't have an issue getting it across the line. Reborn are just insane.
Finally, you can find something that they could probably draw off of. And that was like a half buy, not even complete buy as well. But it doesn't matter. Reborn are there to punish a great Hunter's Fury to make sure that the odds are even. Tend to find that pick on the neural theft, and you can completely slam down. Their mental must be boomed. It doesn't matter what team you are.
Dude, this is terrifying. No, mortifying.
It's their pick as well.
It is a. I mean, we had no data, but they must have had a reason to go for it. This must be based on some sort of scrim buck.
I'm sure they had great results in scrims. I'm pretty sure they were confident in this map as well. I mean, why else would you pick it in a final, lower bracket final right here? But Reborn pretty much making them seem like clowns here on the server.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry to say that.
They pretty much got humiliated yesterday up against Navi Jr., but you know, Reborn had the same ordeal in the semi-finals, in the upper bracket semi-finals, but they redeemed themselves yesterday, right? They're coming off with a win, a very important 2-0 win against Job Life. And now they're continuing this momentum onto the next round as well. No issue at all, no reason to play-by-play this. Double digits on the board, and there's still a round to boot in the half.
I mean, I'll say it again, UCAM coming into this playoffs, they were my favorite team in terms of who is gonna take this one. All the way to the grand finals, who is gonna win this one.
This is a nice spot.
It seems like the story follows them again from that stage one. You get dropped down by a northeast team from the upper final to the lower final. And then you have a tough time in there, sure. The whole match isn't over, even though it seems like this ascent is starting to get there.
Joke's over.
You can run it back online again.
Paired up with a flash. Famzy doesn't get a chance to use his run it back, and because of Coil getting out of a different position, Bisq has to step it up here. We were talking about the team needing a star piece, and Bisq needs to be that for his team right now. Numbers advantage, but the pressure is always on. Doesn't matter if you've got side control. Reborn always found ways to be menaces.
Spike planted.
Spike in the floor, finally. And Reborn start to make their move forward. Famzy takes the fight to them instead, and at least close out the half with a bang. But that is not a large bang, that is a minor firecracker. A lot more explosions are needed for UCAM to get back into this game.
Taken out. Defeated.
A hell of not a lot needed for UCAM to get back into this map. They decided to go on Ascent. No one has played this from these two teams this year. No one has set their foot on Ascent before, so it was unknown territory. A risk was taken. And Reborn are telling them why you should never pick a map like this against a Turkish team.
It's been known back in 2020, 2021, something like that. Ascent is the home of the Turkish teams, even when they run Yoru, and it seems like they're even more dangerous with that. I mean, it's a crazy pick in terms of the meta, right? But
sure.
It doesn't seem to matter. when you're shooting heads.
That's very, very accurate. Roll the take back to Kachao, just taking heads one after the other in mid. Over in short, actually. It was 1v3. One player after the other. It was ridiculous. Okay, it's a simple walkout for Reborn. They're not going to get tested. It was a bit of a gamble stat for UCAM as well towards that left-hand side. And decided the Cypher trap will alert them soon enough for a quick rotation. And indeed, that it will happen. However, they'll be relying on the recon of Bald and the paranoia of Jesse to get across the line here. Flash through from Famzy. Kachao holding the lower line, able to convert one. Two players are on a crossfire on the bottom level. Bisk only able to deal with one, and Reezy continuing to be a menace. Finally put to the grave. Bald left in the 1v2 though, and it's not going to be an easy one, especially with Reborn having such solid fundamentals hiding on each side of the wall. 11 on the board, and surely we've now entered the highway to victory on Ascent.
Look at what I just noticed. Look at the scoreboard. Reezy at 18 and 5. From where? I feel like it's been Kachao, Deadink, finding those clips, pretty much. All of a sudden, Reezy's almost up to 4 KD.
Oh, that's so true. 2 away from it.
Careful now.
I'm sure he'll get there.
You think? That's if he isn't eliminated. I mean, it's possible.
True. That's crazy. I feel like he has just been so consistent throughout the rounds.
Yeah.
Finding those 2 kills, maybe a triple as well somewhere, probably.
Yeah, I think at the very beginning, he was he had a lot of highlight moments.
Spike drop.
But you're right, it's just that consistent factor, always getting those rounds, getting those multi-kills in, a double kill there. Sure, it's not flamboyant, but how can it be compared, how can it be called flamboyant when we see things from Kachao every so often, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit wild. Norwood with investment for UCAM, obviously. Ares brought out, no success from it. Bald is the first to fall. Zera trying to hide within the cage, and he is able to catch one off guard. Indeed does. He's out of bullets though. Do you really want to aggress quickly off the back of it? Kachao on the flank. So he's still going to be a bit annoying to deal with in market. Just trying to get the timing on him. It's good on the flash. Oh, the curveball has changed things. Batanax getting a double out of thin air. And it's rough for UCAM in this one, Bisk. 1v3 required. From what we've seen though, Reborn do not fancy giving anyone chances. 12 on the board. Their eyes are not only on the prize, but they've got both hands on it too.
And UCAM went all in on the investment on that round, and rightfully so. I mean, you kind of have to do something right here. Otherwise, it's gone. And right here, I mean, it does already look like it's gone for them. Reezy still staying alive. Get those 2 kills. Get to 4 KD. For Reborn, I don't think they could have even hoped for a better start.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Talk about better starts. Deadink, beautiful first blood. Although it is counteracted momentarily from Bald, the only rifle available for UCAM this round. And this is what the desk was talking about. Collected aggression, right? They don't instantly go in for the fights. It's not running W. There's decisions made around it, the right moments to chime. UCAM, however, not letting matters fall to the hands of their opponents. Hezekor has spotted the movement and caused his team to pay attention. Batanax, however, able to get that first pick. And with that, Reborn have taken just a few steps forwards, looking to get into this B side. It's a good idea for them, even though there's Cypher traps around. It's still just the one player to deal with, and Deadink on the chase. Reloading mid-movement. Not a care in the world, he's just buddy hopping. Scott, well, hop, skip, and jumping his way through the map, and he's still jumping, dude, because that's what he can afford to do. Reborn, 13-2 is the score. And what a statement for the first map of a best of 5 lower bracket final.
That's crazy. He's pretty much playing as a Neon, as Waylay. He's playing like Neon as a Waylay, just running around, circling. That's a crazy state from Reborn, just taking that one out of the order instantly, and now with that confidence going to split as well. What a map from them, and what a map from Reezy and the Duelist as well.
Yeah, it's mad. And Mitch did say during the desk that this could very much be a rock, paper, scissors matchup. Well, I'll tell you what. One team is rock and the other is scissors. Rock beats scissors.
Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby here on the 32nd state for Reborn. I mean, absolutely ridiculous stuff. They're fired up and ready to go. I mean, this is Reborn have looked good every series that we've seen, even when they got 2-0 by Na'Vi Jr. But this is you know, they've kicked it into overdrive, I think, here on Ascent, and that is the best start to a series we could ever hope for, Mitch.
Yeah, it genuinely feels like a bit of a piss take to even analyze this game. Like, this was ridiculous. The fact that you come in as UCAM, you pick first a map that neither of you have played. That I like it as an idea, until I realize you're playing against a Turkish team who have insanely strong individuals, who have great utility in the likes of Reezy, as we've seen. I think scanning the board there, he ended up top fragging. But this was genuinely just a stylistic clash that UCAM seemingly never had a chance in. The only rounds that they got on the board were Famzy got like a 3k 4k in the round before that they lost. Also, this genuinely just looked like a complete mismatch of levels. And I have to say, it does come back to what we said at the start of, you decide to pick a map that was called for the longest time the 82nd province of Turkey. They have 81 provinces, and this was the extra because it was such a home ground for the Turkish teams. You pick it first when it's not even a strength for you necessarily. And well, I said I've seen lots of teams make this mistake in the past, and rarely can they recover from it. There you go. That's a lot more dominant than I even thought it would be.
Oh, Echo, apparently you're muted. Well, you might need to restart.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
There. So we had with the defense being so strong for Reborn as well, is just like it's just absolute domination. And I've got to say, with the momentum, we talked about this earlier, this is why this veto just felt like a bad idea from the start. Picking Ascent first, veto now with the momentum behind it for Reborn, looking ahead to split. They'll probably roll through that, and then Lotus, well, if they can keep that momentum up, game's over in 3, and that's it.
Yeah, it would, if nothing else, be incredibly sad that we don't really get to see much of a map pool once again. I mean, that would be a grand total of 4 maps up to the grand finals here. But yeah, you're so right. I don't know what UCAM even do off the back of that, right? We're heading to a map where UCAM, you know, they're quite comfortable. Obviously, both teams are comfortable here on the split. But from the pitfalls that we have seen from them previously, and combined with the kind of momentum plays that we have seen going on over the course of the whole playoffs, this is going to be so difficult. They're going to have a really difficult chat in between maps here, Mitch.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's 2 sides to it. One is that whenever you lose a map like this, it is the easiest to brush off, right? If this was an overtime win, then everybody starts microanalyzing. If I just didn't make that one play, if I just hit that one shot, we could have done it. And it feels like all that time is dumped into nothing when you end up with a loss. Now, you didn't dump that much time into it. At least if you've got dinner plans, you're still rightly on time, even if we go to map 5. But the reality is, for them, it is the easiest to shake off from a perspective of, you know, okay, we just sucked straight up. Let's be better in the next. But it's also difficult to find a solution if we think that the reason that Reborn were winning so many rounds is because of this punchy style, is because they were able to come out swinging, is because whenever there was space being sought, like by Ollie's Era trying to lurk on the other side of a map as a solution, right? We can't straight up hit these guys. Let's play it slow. Let's look for space elsewhere. Ollie's Era is being killed because even though we haven't been doing it that much, they're so confident that they're just playing default start around, and they're running like 2-man setups in B main, one player baiting in the other, and then taking the kill on the back of it. Like this was a complete mismatch of skill levels on this map. And now to bounce back, UCAM have to go to a map that, again, has been the bread and butter for both teams, but where UCAM recently also got smashed. It's not a good sign.
It's really not. I mean, just look at the first blood percentage here. The two duelists, 60% between the two of them. And that's not including the rest of Reborn. They were dominant in the early rounds because, you know, realistically, UCAM just weren't playing their attack side well. They were peeking into lines, contacting way too much. And we saw that round there with the operator. Like, when you have that much confidence to just swing back in 3 times and hit the shots every time, that's just impossible to play against. And Reborn are now going to go on to Split where they feel comfortable, where they're going to be able to set up in the same way they did there. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, UCAM are going to have a tough conversation now. We're going to go to a quick break while they do so. So we'll be back with Split very shortly. Don't go anywhere. You could be witnessing the biggest demolition since, I don't know what buildings have been demolished recently. Don't worry. Roll the break. Welcome back, everybody. You join us here for Map 2 of the playoffs of EMEA Challengers Day 3. And hopefully you didn't blink between the time we started the broadcast and now, because if you did, you'll have missed that first map on Ascent between these two. 13-2, an absolute drubbing from Reborn on what is essentially their home ground. Not sure why UCAM did that, but regardless, they have the opportunity now to bring this one back. It's a best of 5 for a reason, plenty of maps to go. And we head to Split next. I mean, this is a map where both teams are comfortable, but both teams recently have had pretty bad losses to Na'Vi Jr. So there is definitely learning opportunities here. And I mean, look, we talked about the team comps earlier, Echo. Why don't you just run me through it again to get the lowdown here?
Yeah, so UCAM run typically their Vice comp and This is fine on the defense, usually. It should be, in theory. You've got the Vice, you should be able to put that wall up, use the Thorns to try and stall out the entries, to then take them out before the rest of the team can follow up. In theory, that's what it should be. However, UCAM's defense is their worst side. They've chosen to start on it going into this map, and I'm hoping that they've got some kind of switch up, because as I'm sure we'll look at from Reborn's comp on the attack side, this is where their comp will shine.
Yeah, it's strange how they've approached this veto in general, considering the fact that UCAM are in a position where, you know, often I believe they're picking this map. They want to start, or they're forced to start on the attack side, but they put up crazy rounds on it. Like the average is like a 9-3 half for them. To now come in, start defense against this squad, it will once again be a test where Reborn come in. We talked about this composition in the pre-show. You talked about it just now. Like, this is somewhere that they are going to be playing incredibly confident, assuming, and I am assuming, that we will see that same comp in play. Double dive, double smoke, and you've got the sky initiation. They are going to be in your face. And the problem for me is what we just saw from them there was them struggling with exactly what Reborn are going to bring to bear on split. And again, considering the fact that we haven't seen them start on a defense, we haven't seen a full defensive half out of UCAM, I don't know how to feel about this one. Yes, they've got the fact that, you know, the second half is coming, right? That will be our more comfortable ground, so lay some thin foundations here can still be okay. But the problem is that's kind of how they've approached the BO5 as well, right? Their favorite map being third and so on. But if momentum is built up, I'm getting sick of saying it, for a Turkish team, it's going to be hard to stop them, even if you do then go to your actual comfort.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, this could be a learning experience for the UCAM side, although I feel like they've had a lot of learning experiences recently, right? Coming coming second, in the last EMEA Challengers, coming top 3 in the EMEA Clash, of course, before that. I mean, there's a lot of different things that they have had where they just haven't got the title, and it feels like this might just be a very, very similar story. We'll see. They must have had a pretty serious talk between maps here, but there's only so much I feel like you can do. What is going on in their heads right now? What could even be going on in their heads, Echo? Because I feel like there's just a mindset that you need to get into after that one, and it seems pretty tough to do after a 13-2.
Yeah, I mean, like, genuinely, and this is going to sound kind of silly, but coming from coaching as well, like, the big thing that I found to try and bring back, especially from a line like a 13-2, is play something silly. Play like a Discord game. Play like some kind of, I don't know, silly little team game where you're all having fun with each other, to just try and bring some kind of energy back in. Ignore the game, ignore the strategy. That matters, yes, but if you can't work together as a team, if you can't communicate, if you can't shoot, you won't win. So you need to just get that communication, get that energy back in, and then come back. And I think playing silly little games, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge for sure, where like these are the moments where you're going to see these players be tested as teammates, right? Like and it's harder when it's online, when it's not in person. You can't notice your body language shifts and so on. It's why boot camps are so important. But yeah, a real difficulty for them here. But they know that coming into this map, I think especially the Vice from Bold has the opportunity to slow this down. What you're seeing out of Kachao and Deadink, this dive in to take a lot of aggressive space, to really put the pressure on you early on, it's changed as well though. Like what they're coming in expecting on the UCAM side, UCAM are expecting to see Reborn play the Rays alongside the Whale, I believe. And now we've got a Neon on Kachao as well. After the map we just saw, this is the kind of adaptation I want to see from Reborn, saying, hey, let's take the Neon, we can play even more heads-up duels, we can play even more in their face. And considering the game that Kachao and Deadink just had on the previous map, this leans heavily into Reborn's strengths. I think their threat level just went up a little bit.
But I think it could also be countered as well. The Vice is the perfect counter for the Neon. Rays at least can go over, you can break the Thorns. Now Reborn have no way of breaking those Thorns. They have to deal with them in the default, and that's what they were bad at against Na'Vi Jr. with the Sage, is that slow defaulting. So they're going to have to switch up their strategy a fair bit, or just pick the right site, gamble it 50-50, and if they win it, they win it.
Well, this could be a very, very interesting one then. An adaptation from Reborn that really plays into their momentum-based hand, right? But we'll see if it comes in their favor. Obviously, they need to know... Oh, sorry, they need to try and deny as many rounds as possible in that first half, right? The second half is going to be stronger for UCAM. And therefore, if you can really, you know, beat the dead horse into the ground, dig their grave as much as possible, I do think that is the play here, right? Get another one of those 10-2 halves, and yeah, you definitely stand a chance of repeating history again here. For Reborn, that is the play. For UCAM, what can they do? I mean, look, you still have another 3 maps in hand if you need them, but we're going to head over now to our casters with Pavlos and MP here.
Yeah, up until 2 days ago, MP, this has been an undefeated territory for Reborn, but Na'Vi Jr. said, we can take you down. So I wonder, is this kind of a redemption story? This is kind of them saying, doesn't matter, that was a fluke. We are feeling better than we ever have the entire year. It definitely seems that to be the case from the last 3 maps we've seen them play on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Reborn, even back in S2G, I think they had 12-game win streak in split prior to Na'Vi Juniors, which is crazy. To take them all the way here or let them have this split. Sure, UCAM have been decently strong here, but Reborn has been insane, and especially that result from yesterday. Dedink was on fire, but then again you had Kachao, who was dropping numbers as well, completely overshadowed by what Dedink was putting forward to. Now a little bit different composition, and the analyst desk kind of highlighted that as well. The Neon is a rougher matchup against that Vice, so interesting idea from Reborn to actually switch away from that Raze, which is a great agent against Vice, to Neon, which isn't as good. It seems like Reborn are taking this fast.
I mean, it's the best way to do it, straight from the attack, setting the tone. Hezekiah through mid. That wasn't actually the main party there. All by himself, Hezekiah is ripping through UCAM. Same can be said about the other side, but if you're all by yourself, it takes the cake. It's worth highlighting over the rest. Sure, Famzi gets one, but you've left Kachao deep in mid. He can create a lurk if Famzi ends up crossing through the smoke here. Tries to go for something a little bit precarious, but does not catch Kachao off guard. Reborn start just how they left off from the previous.
That's why they picked Neon. Nearly 15 seconds into the round, and the round was basically over. It's just storming through that ramp area all the way into A heaven, and to have Hezekiah already lurking around mid in that first round, finding that timing to find the first kill, incredible from Reborn. Just setting up the pace already.
Oh, this is nuts. Sure, this is just a pistol, but it's all put into context of what we've seen so far from Reborn. And for UCAM, not getting things going from the start is a little bit annoying, right? I think Echo mentioned it very nicely as well, that this is a monumental task. You need to completely separate yourself from the game. It requires a lot of growth mentally. And it's something that's going to have to wait for now. Will they be focused enough to take on this fired-up Reborn squad? Obviously, this round, not to be expected of them. And it will be a flawless one as well from the Turkey representative. How about that?
UCAM. They're in a tough situation. I think the keys for UCAM start from Bold. And now I'm not even talking about Bold as an idea. Sure, I think that's a big part of it. But Bold has been incredible in this map with the Vice. Always topping the charts with the ACS in his team in this tournament. Out of the 5 games, he's been on top every game. And out of the 5 games, in 4 of those, he's gotten 20 kills. You have to rely on him. But now it's Famzi to find the first pick.
You want someone to step up. Can't get too picky about it. Just considering and rethinking whether he wants to go for another pick here on the long distance. Especially with Batanax on the Marshall, can create a bit of a threat. But instead of Reborn after losing that first player, instead of dropping back, they double down. Slow movement forwards. Quiet. Dry. Which also means it hasn't really alerted the defenses. Ball goes for a jump peek and indeed spots 2. Famzi chooses to swing, but Dedek fully ready for it. So back to equilibrium in terms of numbers. And still, it is slow but methodical. Reborn are gaining ground by the second.
Derek has been brilliant in those duels, 1v1 situations. Shorty doesn't capitalize this time, but Hesacoil equalizes. That's crazy,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, it really is crazy. Bisk actually takes the risk to play aggressively here and does bring the numbers back in favor, but oversteps and Reezy wins his on 1v1, so the tables have turned once more. Oh dear, UCAM are really struggling to find order. Jesse, though, catches one off guard, but Batanax, instead of lingering, takes the fight head on. A statement play, a clutch for Reborn, and UCAM denied once again.
I think Jesse thought that the spike is gonna be planted like deep inside. That's why he brought out the paranoia. But no, Batu, who actually hasn't been the star player at all in this team, completely overshadowed by his peers. The VCT experience is there, but I think Reborn just having so many brilliant individuals means that Batu has been exactly right where he needed to be. The supporting player, the Sky, the initiator, to give the tools for players like Deadink here. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god. I mean, you don't expect them to do much on the eco. Oh boy, Bisk is being toyed with, isn't he? What is going on? Deadink is such a menace.
Can't you?
And he gets
where are we right now? Are we in Australia? There's kangaroos everywhere.
I mean,
yeah.
I think we just have to talk about this. Like, what can you do as UCAM when you have players like Deadink doing things like that?
Oh, I'm not sure. What is the answer, right? Because we were talking a lot about mental, and sure, momentum is a massive aspect to it, but let's get into the nitty-gritty of things, right? Let's get into the actual things you want to be doing if you're UCAM. The first thing that would go into anyone's mind is trying for something different. Don't let Reborn push into you. You try and set the pace. You try and disrupt the attack before it even happens, right? Whether that means taking early space, whether that means kind of trying to go for an early pick. But I'm still afraid that is still very tough for UCAM to do, because at the start of every round, Reborn don't go for that early aggression. They kind of have a very, death ball approach. That often they are grouped. So do you really want to be pushing into a death ball?
Ultimate's not ready.
I mean, you saw that on the previous round as well. UCAM, they were kind of going for that aggression in A main, but instantly punished by Batu just pop flashing through that with Kachao, which, I mean, highlights that they're always together, and even though Kachao is so far deep alone, there is so many players to follow. It doesn't matter this time. In the end, Deadink will still find Ollie. But look at the ground.
And the thing is, Olizera still gets a double, but it's still the 3v3. Nothing's decided just yet. Deadink continuing to be a menace. Sure, the spike needs to be collected, which means that Reborn, from the players that are in B, need to cross forwards. Bisk, operator in hand, though, seems to have everything under control. Hesacoil fully replenished, and he's just looking for that pixel. One bit of vision. Bait on the smoke, hoping someone swings it. Is he waiting for time to expire to allow either Famzi or Bisk to move away, look away? That's exactly what's happened here. If he moved up on Heaven right now, he'd have great timing, but he misses that chance. 40 seconds.
One enemy remaining.
Oh! And the opportunity appears right in front of him. That's one to the good, one more to go, and Famzi must be terrified. But he knows what to look at least. There's no real time to kind of navigate around, create a different angle of attack. Has to go for the play. And looks to play aggressive, not from the offbeat! Famzi gets shut down! Hesacoil! What a statement of a clutch!
Press the button, Bromas. Press the button. I'm not sure if it would help the timeout. Probably not. That's a crazy clutch for Hesacoil. And he does all the right things. He makes UCAM second guess where Hesacoil is coming from. He makes them think that he's rotating mid, maybe spawn, putting that advantage or basically just nullifying that 2 versus 1 situation, finding the individual duels. And I mean, look at the faces of UCAM's players. I mean, it is quite expected. You can't be happy about that. It is quite hard to find any joy in that.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, you can imagine they're probably listening to the words of Bromas right now.
Yeah.
So trying to lock in on that. But you're right. It's demoralized. And I think it goes in hand with what we just saw as well from Famzy on the clutch. He didn't feel confident. He didn't feel comfortable on the 1v1 that he can win that. Instead of taking the aggressive stance of holding down the line straight away, he wanted to add an extra angle to it, right? Added some extra complication. And when you add a little bit of that spice, give room to your opponent, that actually works in favor of the player clutching. Now that's exactly what happened for Hezecoil in that 1v1. And they will continue this streak. 5 in a row now, and this is just split.
I think that's a great point. Famzy should have, like 100% should have held the rope there, because Reborn, or anyone in the rope, they are inaccurate. And that could have been a difference maker if we actually had the confidence to hold it down. Oh, Reborn, no.
Playing through the smoke. Bisc is there to read it this time around, and this is clean. Much more like it for UCAM. They've needed something like this. Never count. Reborn out though. So let's see what the plan is here. They'll try and focus towards the weakest of the 2 sites in terms of defense. A 3v2, but Olazera catches Kachao off guard, so this might be the round done. Breezy. Let's see if he can cause any more chaos. No. He has a core of 4s. So it's a Reezy show for now. 1v4. I mean, everything shouts impossible. Let's respect the effort. Bisc is thinking if it could be a potential A hit. You could see him turn around behind, you know, a walk through vents, you know, but nothing of the sort is happening from Reezy.
30 seconds left.
They've got cash for the next one, so you can afford to try and go for something like this. Haunted, revealed. And Jesse gets there quickest on the headshot. UCAM finally get something go their way, and that's off of the delicacy of Bisc's first double kill.
That was great for UCAM against Job Life, the timeouts. I think 3 out of 4 of them, they usually capitalize directly off of those. I don't think this is necessarily just because Bromas took the timeout. It was Reborn just trying to look for something extra. Be a little bit overzealous on A, and UCAM punishing it. Either way, it's great for them. Finally finding that 1 round on the board. But now you just have to string out the rounds. You have to string them together. Find more. Get that buffer as well. You're on the defensive side. Oh, Olazera.
This isn't an old classic from Deadink. He's done this so many times. You know, sometimes it doesn't work, but he can refract back to safety. But this time it does. A numbers advantage for Reborn. Bisc wants to change the status quo to bring back the tide for UCAM, and paired up with Jesse, they'll gain numbers advantage and control over Spike and Garage. Reborn. They've been given some space that they'll try and capitalize upon. Jesse closes in. That paranoia is important, but gets sprayed upon through the box nevertheless. Famzy getting quickly on the case. And he's trying to disallow Batanax with grouping up with his teammates. The right thing to do, but Deadink is dangerous on the 1v1s. Famzy will be thanking his lucky stars he's won that one. But Batanax's turn to show if he's got what it takes on the clutch. And boy, anyone from Reborn can show up, but they've just switched positions, and surely Batanax won't consider it. Or will he? On the screen! Flicks on his head! Batanax does it as well!
Same place as well. That's crazy. That once again, Reborn will win out the 1 versus 2 clutch from hell. Once again, the same pick happens in the same fashion. And in the end, it's just the individuals battling against each other. And Reborn will once more take that.
MP, this isn't a normal game. This isn't a series. I mean, it's supposed to be a best of 5 lower bracket final, but I feel like this is a highlight reel This is a Reborn highlight reel. Someone's made a montage, and we're just watching it. Round after round, it's a Reborn show.
I feel like first time Bold is actually on the side. Could be more than that. On the side where Reborn are gonna hit. So let's see what this Vice can do.
I mean, the Cosmic Divide renders him a bit useless here, really.
Spike planted.
Doesn't have the information on the plant. Now they know.
Thorns are live.
So the Thorns are doing a little bit in terms of the site. Oh, dude, this is crazy. There's 3 players on site. Reborn get the plant and they vacate the premises for free. When have you seen this before? UCAM takes space control yet again. Hezekiah has created a luck of the ages. If you're UCAM, you've got side control, but it's all an illusion because Kachao brings out the Zap, electrifying everyone to death, and it's a flawless round by Reborn.
I challenge you guys to go take a look at every match that UCAM has played in Challenger stage. They've played 5 different splits. Yesterday against Navi Juniors, and today Bold has been so offline. He hasn't gotten to do anything. But prior to those matches, Bold has been over 20 kills. Nearly 300 ACS on most of those. He's been insane with this Vice. Unstoppable. And right now, even when Reborn kind of has a counter comp, or UCAM kind of has a counter composition of this Reborn comp, especially against the Neon,
sure,
it doesn't work. Because it's a false counter with the way that Reborn is playing. They're not going directly to the sites. They're not directly attacking the Vice. They're playing the rounds through mid or in A from heaven. They're not even crossing all the way to the site because they have Cosmic Divide. Let's just plant, let's control heaven. Interesting ideas. But I just love how Reborn completely understands how UCAM actually play this Vice, where they have the ideas where their strength lies, and they're just completely avoiding it.
Yeah, it's got to hurt for UCAM, but Kachao's not letting them dwell on it too long. They're trying to bring out the pace right off the timeout. Dead Ink has done it again. Shorty push. And with that, Lightspeed and Refract combo, still UCAM may have a chance, but fancy this, Hezekiah on the lurk once more, and he's created an angle of attack which Jezzy does not anticipate, and surely this round is done. What can Ball do? Dropping, he's low on health. Maybe there's a chance if he catches them off guard. Reese is being noisy about his movement, and no one's really checking this close proximity. Oh, the Seekers save him. The Seekers come in just on time. I bet if you're UCAM, you're really annoyed here. Fanzy's able to find one, but he's quickly shut down, and they know exactly where to look for Bald. Oh, that is frustrating for UCAM.
Look at that.
Dance moves, dude!
Oh. They're just enjoying the game. And how can you not? It's so hard for UCAM to do anything against, well, I'd call it triple dive comp, in a sense that they have Omen, but the Neon and Waylay have been doing so much work for Reborn to get early control of mid, catch everyone off guard from UCAM in the first 10 seconds. Now Bisq, finally the operator in hand. You have to find something with this, right?
I mean, there are so many moments where we're saying, UCAM, you've got to make this work. You have to get this, you have to do that. Nothing works, and neither does this. Kachao's in. With the assistance of Dead Ink, they've exploded onto the site once again, and it's overwhelmed the defenses. What do you do if you're UCAM, dude? You're getting caught. What's the question here? Is the adaptation to roll the take back, trying to play in your own spawn and just force the retake scenario? Even then, I feel like you're in for a rough time. You're giving space for free. I don't think there are any good solutions at the moment.
Especially with the comp that UCAM has. I mean, I think the idea right here for UCAM would be just go for them. Go deep inside the enemy lines. Try to surprise them in the at the gates, pretty much at the barrier. They don't really have the tools for that. If we look at UCAM, they don't have that Sky. They don't have another flash apart from that paranoia that Jesse has. Sure, Bolt has its own, but it's not an aggressive flash that you can use. It's quite hard. I mean, for Reborn, this comp is great if you let them attack, if you let this Neon and Waylay to have that ground to absolutely attack on site on 2 different angles like that, just there on the previous round. I don't know. I think you can just have to strap the strat book and go fight forward. Or just go for full retakes, like you kind of said. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude. And there's something to be said about getting that first pick as well, because we were talking about what UCAM can do, and that is by trying to pick them apart from the start, but it's not like they have a good conversion after their first picks. It's the exact opposite for Reborn. A push once again, and it's a decisive one. No lingering, no waiting, a direct hit without a moment to waste. Olizera looking for a gap through the smoke, not able to quite capitalize upon it.
Spike planted.
Even on the first pick, 2 different elevations for Reborn and a lot of utility as well. What can you do against that as a solo anchor holder?
Oh, come on. Reezy's not allowing them to settle. His position is being watched right now from Famzy, but it's all a matter of timing, and it looks like Reborn are the ones winning every single one of these fights. Only Bisq is able to get a shot in here or there. Apart from that, it's as simple as it can be.
Spend your cash. Don't look back.
I mean, does the talking point come here as can UCAM even get enough rounds in these 3 maps to cover 1 map win?
Oh my god!
I mean,
the way Reborn is right now.
Playing, it's crazy. It's a complete different UCAM from what we saw against Job Life, especially.
I mean, the score overall right now is 23-3, but let's see if we'll see the same score as the previous first half. A 10-2 was the case on Ascent.
Oh.
It's not over till it's over, Deadink says.
That's something that you can kind of keep.
Poison orb emitting.
The frag back from those Reborn usually will capitalize, especially in this momentum that they have. Great pairing for UCAM. I like how they're playing as a double.
I mean, Reborn, sure, they've got individuals that can stand on their own, but as a force, as a group of them, even deadlier. So, polarized positioning for the defenders. 2 per site. Reborn have made their choice with
30 seconds left.
30 seconds on the clock. Smoke, well timed. But Reborn tend to not care about these Famzies. Seeing them, horn thrown in, taken down, is unable to find the picks. Oh, it's a real struggle on the A site defense. Reezy taking care of both of the ones holding it.
It's a disaster.
It's crazy. What more? Ball, Olizera. There's still a chance. Realistically. Can they make it through? Yeah, probably. Hey, Bald gets one. That's a starter. But Deadink lying in wait in a corner makes it impossible. It's even better than what it was at halftime in Ascent. 11-1. Reborn are going ham right now.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. Good luck. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Go now.
All right. Yes, the score you see right now on your screens is real. Now, that's the highlight that you can pretty good on the attack on a map like Split, but is it good enough to account for an 11-1 deficit? Now, that's a tough question, MP.
It definitely is. And I think the desk was right to highlight that there's question marks on why UCAM would start this on the defensive side. And Reborn have affirmed those questions. Kachao going for another one. Not quite connecting.
Every time I see Kachao get away with a one-tap like that, I always think about Lightning McQueen. Kachao! You know?
Same.
Flashy.
How
Impressive.
come you're not?
Cool.
You're playing Neon and your name is Kachao. Of course, Lightning McQueen is going to be the first in mind.
And Lightning McQueen, and by extension, the movie Cars, is very cool.
It is.
I will have a very aggressive argument in chat if someone argues otherwise.
I'll back you.
Back to the focus. Batson actually spotted a couple of players around. He's called that there's potential reinforcements needed, but they're confident to take their time and these rotations. Oh, Kachao, confident as ever. Connects with another one. UCAM trying to capitalize on the heaven control that they've been given, but it's all a bit of a ruse, isn't it? It's a bit of a fake, false sense of control. Batonax smoked off. Reezy trying to bait in. It's a great self-assisted flash from Batonax. But if you're Reezy, you run out of bullets. And now it's 2 versus 2 that UCAM need to combat from.
Spike planted. Last player
All the aggressors.
standing.
Connects the first shot. Nice. But Dead Ink is a hard cookie to crumble and is able to refract to safety. Sheriff out. No way he gets given a chance to the 1v2. Lived a little bit too long than what was comfortable, but you can win the pistol and are allowed to breathe a little longer.
Exactly what they needed here. To possibly start some kind of comeback. Then again, it would have to be an insane comeback. And how do you even break this momentum that Reborn has? Sure, I think a pistol round is great. Great way to start it. But look at the double shorties from Kachao and Dead Ink. I think Oli Zero might be in trouble here.
Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, it's quick information handed to the UCAM squad. And you definitely do not want to be dealing with neither Kachao or Dead Ink dashing at you like that. That is a scary sight. Bisk winning his 1v1 though. And wants to take it a little step further, set up the defensive line closer to no man's land. Boom. Kachao no more. This is looking very much likely like a UCAM win. Normally, you wouldn't really be surprised after a pistol win like this and then having to save on the next. It is a clear who is a favorite. But this series has been full of surprises. Some damage is done by the classics. No arguing that, but the biggest rifles are the ones sticking around on the server, which is the important part. Reezy, though, make sure that one of them is no more. So, yeah, substantial damage found by Reborn. I think they can be quite happy with that. However, UCAM get one more and slowly chip away at this lead.
It would have been crucial for UCAM to get all of the 3 rifles in the upcoming round, because I think this is a round that you can't lose. Usually bonus round, sure. It's fine if you lose it. Most likely you're gonna lose it because you don't have the armor, the weaponry that the enemy team will have. But right now you cannot afford to lose this. The investment looks like it.
Now, this is a challenge for people watching. I want to know what the record is for the shortest best of 5 match ever played in Challengers, and this is definitely a candidate for it if the next map follows a similar suit. UCAM, they've got a potential crunch situation available to them here. We'll try and deliver a pincer maneuver onto Reezy and Deadink. Reezy, though, quick enough to deliver on one end, ball being low. Rough around the edges, that spray from Deadink, but gets the story told.
No
Plays
way.
aggressively, still gets away with it. What is going on? Surely he won't be able to survive much longer. Getting out of jail free card available to him, but finally gets shut down. UCAM still on the back foot, though. 45 seconds, and they are moving into a site that's already occupied. 2 players strong at that. Batanax reconfiguring the guiding light and allows Kachao to walk into battle once again. Jesse now on the back foot. What can you do? At least he's got the spike control, and instead of going into vents, wants to go for the chase. As a coil aware of a situation like this, though. Eyes peeled in Jesse's position, swing out, and now Jesse wants to run away as fast as possible towards this B-bomb site.
Got good damage on the Hazard Coil. Should get the spike down unless...
10 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Did he hear the drop?
No way. Batu did the silent drop, I think.
Still looking to drop simultaneously. Here's a Coil, though. Doesn't need any assistance. It's a bit of a superhero landing coming through from Reborn. And boy, they must feel good about this one. Reezy's definitely feeling relaxed. Yeah. It's a walk in the park for Reborn. And their first buy of the half works out. 1 round away from being 2 maps ahead in a lower bracket final. Best of 5.
I think this craziest final, sure, it's not the grand final, but it's the craziest final I've seen. Especially in challenges.
There.
These 2 teams should be quite close.
Sure.
In the way that they're playing, they should be even teams. But Reborn completely on another level.
Be right back.
Deadink wanted to play aggressive here. There was a chance he could line up the shots for a few players there on the spray down. But UCAM sees the opportunity, a gap they created to move into A to get the spike down. 3v3 is good. It's decent. Better than what we've seen a lot of these posts. Kachao having a hard time to convert with the Guardian, though, as he's waiting for the rest of the team to arrive, landing a couple of body shots onto Olizera. Famzi sees the presence approaching. Bald, unable to push through the smoke and find something out of it. Reborn are very much ready for any confrontation, and Olizera is 1 bullet away from death, and Kachao will be his Grim Reaper. 13-3. And Reborn keep it going, on track to breaking records. We could potentially be witnessing the quickest best of 5 to ever take place in Valorant competitive history.
Reborn are on fire, and it seems like there's nothing to stop them. They were undefeated prior Navi Juniors match throughout this stage, throughout their renaming after S2G dropped their roster, and they became Reborn, and now they showed why they were so dominant before that Navi Juniors match. I mean, incredible map. Split was crazy. Ascent was even crazier, and I wonder what the next map is gonna be. What is gonna happen there?
I don't know. Anything can happen, but Reborn have definitely made a few statements so far. Let's get the statements though from the desk and hear their thoughts as well.
The question for me is, does it matter what the next map is? I don't think this is about the map anymore. It gets from bad to worse for UCAM. No flashes of brilliance over the course of either of the 2 maps that we've seen. The momentum is sweeping them away like a strong current, and it just feels like it will never end here. Reborn are feeling so confident. You saw it time and time again in those rounds. Echo, is there any end to this?
I think that might be on Lotus, to be honest. I think that's pretty
to
much
the series. Yeah.
Like, when you're looking at how Reborn are playing, it is confidence, but it feels like there's a level of disrespect as well. UCAM are respecting what Reborn are doing way too much, whilst Reborn are just saying, we're better than you, we're going to walk on you, and we're going to win. That's what we needed to see from UCAM come into this map off the back of Ascent. If they were going to brush off that, 13-2 on Ascent and come into this map, they had to come in and disrespect what Reborn were doing. But they weren't. They kept letting Reborn take momentum, and they just ran away with it again.
You know, there's really not a lot to sort of dig into the hope of UCAM when it comes to the rest of the series. I think, you know, the alarm bells were there when it came to Ascent to start out the series with how they picked. You move here and you think, okay, well, Split, this is the middle ground for both of these teams. Fracture maybe more specifically is the middle ground right at the end of the series, but this is somewhere that both teams are immensely comfortable. After that match, now they're both 4-1 in record in stage 2. So this is somewhere that we should see the best of these teams, and we definitely saw the best of Reborn. We saw all of their advantages being leaned on. We saw every element that we thought would be a counter, would be a difficulty for UCAM to deal with, being a difficulty for UCAM to deal with. But on the other side, we saw nothing. And this is a squad that, again, has played this map more than any. Now we're moving on to Lotus, where they have 1 rep. It was a close matchup, and it's not even, they could have 5 wins in a row. They could all be 13-0s. I still wouldn't favor UCAM after what we've just seen in the last 2 maps. It genuinely looks like we have taken opposite ends of the ranked spectrum. There's silvers against your I don't want to say Radiant, say Immortals. You know, they can get a couple kills in there, but it doesn't look like there's much of a question as to who controls this series right now.
Right, exactly. I mean, we can take a look back at some of what we saw. I don't think we're going to get analysis out of it. We might be able to appreciate some of the plays that we see here from the side of Reborn here. There's plenty that we can take a look at. A couple of clutches here from Batunax and just playing so well. I mean, look, all of this just reads as great in the moment Valorant for me, right? This is all micro stuff. This is not amazing strategical play. I mean, what we're going to see next is basically just Deadink playing a different video game, right? Playing something far more movement based than Valorant is, Echo, and it's ridiculous.
It's witchcraft at the very least. I don't understand. He's just dashing all over the place. This one here for Bisk. Bisk gets 1 shot, goes up, gets the second, somehow Deadink's still alive, and then look at this. He turns around, and all of a sudden, Bisk is dead. How is he alive? How is he doing this?
And it is genuinely just a diff that we saw on the server, but it's these individual moments, like you said, or you just sat there wondering how's he gotten away with that. This, you know, the dive in on the waylay with the shorty, we've seen it a lot, but since the nerf came in, we've seen it have a lot less success. You're not able to throw that stun the way that you could in the past, set your teammates up. Now when you're diving in, you've got to land your shot with that shorty right off rip with a relatively even playing field. And the problem is that we haven't seen an even playing field throughout this series. 13-2 and 13-3. At this point, it genuinely feels like UCAM haven't shown up, but I guess we go back to the positives after map 1. When you lose a map, you know, dominantly, it's really easy to shake it off and go, hey, we'll get him in the next one. But they need to get them in the next one 3 times in a row now. So that's tough.
Well, it is definitely going to be a steep cliff to climb here for UCAM, but you never know. Weirder things have happened in EMEA Challengers, so we'll head to a quick break, and maybe UCAM can come up with an antidote to the poison. We'll see you in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Hello everybody, welcome back to what could be the thrilling conclusion already of day 3 of the playoffs here at EMEA Challengers Stage 2. I'm Twiggy, your host. I'm joined today by Echo and Mitch, of course. And yeah, our job could almost be over. From what we've seen so far, 5 rounds have gone to UCAM over the course of 2 maps. We're heading now to Lotus, and you know, this could be where things look up for UCAM. But based on what we've seen so far, does it really matter what stage they're playing on, Echo?
I want to say yes, but I don't know if I can, especially with them starting on the defense. They're slightly better at attack historically, so maybe they do better there. But realistically, unless we see something crazy, and I do enjoy the KO, that does allow UCAM to go more aggressive than they sometimes do in other compositions on other maps. So maybe if they can use the KO to start disrespecting, start swinging more, then maybe that will work for them. But Reborn's just going to run at them. Like, they won't have time to set up.
Yeah, this is the issue. Double Duelist coming in again with the Neon Waylay. Reborn looked like the better team. I was curious to see what the composition was going to be in case they maybe overcook, but I think this is perfect. They're leaning on what we've already seen to be immense levels of comfort for these individuals. They feel like they're the better team right now. I think especially when it comes to those A main battles early on when we're fighting for Rubble, this is somewhere that Reborn will not shy away. They will look to blitz right in, and UCAM need to make the most of things like their Seize Nade, like their KO knives to disrupt the pacing in the mid round from Reborn. But the reality is, Twiggy, you said to Echo, do you think that it matters what battleground we're on? And no, I feel like this is a case where UCAM, if we started on Lotus, could maybe get the ball rolling, but the way the series has gone, it seems like they saved the best for last.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're on about a 3 or so win streak on this map. They're feeling good here, but this series has just gone Reborn's way over and over again at this point. If we do see a comeback or reverse sweep in this one, it will be one of the most amazing reverse sweeps that we have seen, because, I don't know, down and out is how I would call the UCAM camp on this one. It should be an incredible time here, but look, I think it might just be the end for us already. I don't want to curse anything. I don't want to curse anything for anybody, but I guess no matter what way I spin this, it's not going to look too good for them. So I'm going to head it over now to our casters. Pavlos and MP, close this one out for us, maybe?
Maybe. The chances are looking slim for UCAM, but this is where maybe they have a little bit more chances than the other places. That being said, MP, we'd have to see a very different UCAM team than what we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, a confident UCAM team who is able to win out those 1v1 duels. But I think more than that, they kind of have to approach this as a team, as a duo, fighting those duels. They haven't really been winning those 1v1s. And like we saw on Split, they were losing quite many 2v1 situations as well. UCAM have to dial it down, especially when you have the advantage. You cannot lose out those rounds. Multiple times it was one of the players from UCAM making a mistake which caused them to have a disadvantage from a really advantageous position, and that has to stop here.
It really does, but it could all be over right now for UCAM at the end of this map, as elimination is on the line in this lower bracket. Best of 5. Ball and Olizera able to connect a couple of nice shots at first in this exchange in mid. A lot of players involved in that one. It's a skirmish, but a 2 versus 2 now, as Reborn have set their eyes on A.
I like UCAM taking the game into their hands, trying to fight forward instantly and surprise Reborn. Still quite even. Oh, it would be great pain shells as well. Decent damage.
That's some. Is it enough? Bisk
One enemy remaining.
looking to swing by. Good reactions. Now there's information on where Reezy is. Paranoid. Oh, but he's done them a favor by walking into the door. Thing is, though, Bisk is low. 1 bullet away from death. Jesse, albeit being paranoid, is close distance enough to see his opponent. Headshot lands, and UCAM get off on the right fur.
Good for them. The pistol, I mean.
I don't think they can go for these BM shoots, to be honest.
No,
UCAM,
no.
they have not deserved that by any sort of the imagination.
And I don't think they're gaining too much out of that. I'm pretty sure
Are they trying
Reborn
to
is like,
annoy their
okay,
opponents?
fine.
I don't know. Are
Yeah.
they trying to play with their opponent's head? That could
For
be a tactic.
sure.
I don't know. Could that work?
I mean, anything that they can bring out from the toolbox, sure.
Sure.
Within the rules, of course.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
don't Red.
Oh.
Never mind. We'll
Nice.
throw them into the meat grinder for this one, to be fair. Reborn. Not to first feet instantly. UCAM feeling very confident with this one, with a nothing to lose attitude. Aggressing outside of the flood smoke, a flawless one. And when I say flawless, not a hint of damage taken either.
So now, I kind of want to see how UCAM approaches this bonus round. Having multiple Spectres and Stingers, close range weapons. I think they're gonna have to give the early fights, especially in rubble. You don't really have the guns to fight for it. Look at stack towards C-mount
Check your posture.
for UCAM.
Retrieving wall.
There's at least one player from Reborn that's gonna look for a fight here, maybe.
Well, the Prowler spots out an early engagement from Long, but you don't know how extensive it is. And Reborn decide it's best to move as a unit. UCAM have decided they're not looking to aggress any further. So that's as much as information as they're going to get from C. There's blocked off. Cannot see a thing, and Reborn are being very quiet about this. A contact push potentially. Again, UCAM look to take some space out in B main, but it's big shot that lands with the Hez coil. That starts the push from Reborn. Site taken over already, but UCAM have been quite quick about this. Thing is, Jesse very far away to join in.
UCAM should be so happy with that trade. I think they upgraded the rifle. Yeah, bold. Land on now. The retake should commence.
Aggressive from Kachao. Doesn't do his due diligence to check the corner. Olizera has a chance to upgrade. Breezy, Paranoia. It lands on all three of the players walking in through tree, which does delay them a little bit. Double-sided peek coming through from Batanax and Dead Ink, and it works. 2 picks to the good. And now UCAM are trying to play catch-up. Onto the smoke, tapped. Reezy, tempted to start spraying. Doesn't know if he's taken down his opponent enough. It's done enough for Jesse to get the pick, but Batanax jumps in again and will win on that shaky fight. One remains by the end of that round, but it's Reborn to prevail.
Great job by UCAM. Not letting Reborn just pretty much skate through this one as well. Now already getting 2 rounds on the board, making that third one real close. And Reborn, look at the economy. They cannot go for full Vandals and Phantoms. The Guardian, Bulldog, and Spectre in the mix as well. Pacing this round so much faster as well, Olizera. Capitalize, but will get traded out instantly.
I think this is going to be a very fast game, MP. We're already seeing a lot of explosivity from both sides. Defense or attack, and Fancy is bringing the heat! A double Q and a dink landing on the third. Because it's through a wall, it's not attributed the kill. Kachao interrupts his spike plant and looks to press forward. Gets overzealous, but Denny can back it up. This game is about to go nuts.
And if the game is as fast as that round was for Reborn, it's quite hard for Bisq to even play that operator at any point. Because sure, you might get the one pick, but you're playing Raze, you don't really have the escape tool. And right there, if Bisq was on C-mount playing the operator finding a pick, I'm sure he would have been traded quite instantly. And now we already see Dead Ink go back to his signature weapon. Outlaw, and no full shields for UCAM.
I'm getting Pacific region style of Valorant in 2023 vibes right now.
Yeah. I mean, just run it in, no?
Yeah, run it down. Keep pushing, fight after fight. And it's team fights, right? It's an organized style of play, but it's quick.
Reborn is a little bit more deliberate here, taking it slow. obviously don't want to run into a stack against this eco round.
Yeah, well, Reborn are able to collect the pieces, and Hezekiah has created an angle of attack that makes it tough for Alizera to survive. Ooh. Not too bad for Jesse. I doubt he feels confident to move forward to retrieve the rifle, but says there's no harm in trying. Surprised by Deadink, though. It's good coordination on the fly there for Reezy to throw in a smoke to assist Deadink. That's a smart choice.
Perfectly placed smoke as well. No chance of retrieving that rifle without exposing yourself in the smoke.
Deadink can smell him, but he didn't quite know where he was. Oh boy. Sure.
Okay, both.
Reborn might be in the lead. Reborn might have 2 maps to none of UCAM, but UCAM are the only ones with a knife kill this series, so I don't know who's winning really. That's a rhetorical question, everybody. I'm not being serious.
Interesting choice from UCAM if they're not investing into the full armor here, even though I think most of them can. That's crazy.
Oh, God. I want to see this confidence, though, from the rest of the squad.
They all went half armor. They think the Outlaw is not in play anymore. But yeah, I mean, the knife kill was crazy.
The thing is, Hezekiah doesn't know this, right? In terms of the Outlaw, he may not consider these opponents going down that quickly. Kachao seizes a chance to break through. Alizera overwhelmed. Maybe he should have vacated the premises. He knew players were coming. I think he stayed around too long. But then again, when you've got a Neon on the chase, it's pretty hard to outrun her.
Yeah, but almost impossible to defend as well. This double duelist comp, especially. Showstopper online. Oh, I don't think Brisk has a chance in using that, though. No way.
But somehow Fantasy's able to find a double. Through the convergent pass, he continues to reign supreme. It's doable for UCAM. They've got the numbers, but they're running out of time. Now the Outlaw can show how much damage it can do. Sheriff's out on the spike, being diffused. Phantom recovered. 6 bullets. You've got to be accurate. Move through the smoke. It's being stuck with Jesse underneath Hezekiah's nose. Will be able to get the ninja defuse.
The experience from Jesse speaks for itself. I think it was over 350 officials that Jesse has played. All the way back in 2020, 2021, something like that. He knows when to stick, when to not, and this is exact place to stick.
One enemy remaining.
Confident as ever.
Time to explode.
UCAM, they've reached 3 rounds. 1 more, and it's the best map that they've had so far in the series.
Whew. Lightning fast for Kachao. And Jesse gets shut down as well. Yeah. UCAM cannot play fire with fire.
Look at Hezekiah.
This is... Oh, my God. You know, Hezekiah is doing his own little mini-game while the rest of Reborn are just taking over the server. UCAM cannot play their game. They simply cannot.
I think that's a great point. That was the idea. The UCAM, they have to play together. They have to find these fights as a unit. And right here, small, minor mistakes
Last player standing.
causes them to get absolutely rolled. Every twist, every turn. And UCAM finally on a timeout. Also, I think the interesting thing about Hezekiah as well and Reborn as a whole is that because Reborn have so much control of the sites that they actually want to go for, Hezekiah has everything, all the control of B. Wherever he wants to lurk, he can go for. And that was the idea that UCAM had against Job Life. They were great at exploiting these gaps that happened on the defensive side.
Yeah. That is very interesting, right? Because when you have an aggressive playstyle, as a defender, you want to match it, right? You want to play quickly, react off the back of it, which often means you leave a lot of space empty. And you're right, Reborn are great at exploiting that.
And the comp that UCAM has, it's so easy to exploit as well. You don't really have a Sentinel. Well, you don't. Olizera is kind of the pseudo Sentinel here. The Viper is usually filled for that Sentinel role. And I like the idea that we kind of talked about, I think, was it 2 days ago? And the desk talked about today as well, that the KO on Bolt, it's great. He can set up some rounds with the flash points, great 0 points as well, etc. But that completely leaves open the Sentinel role. And look at UCAM right now. Sure, it's an eco. Bolt, a rifle in hand, sure, but they kind of have to go and defend that B as well.
I mean, these types of pushes are what you want to see on Lotus as the defenders, right? Take up that space, gain information early, have the numbers advantage when it comes to the defense, or be set up for a quick retake. But like you said, it's a bit of a guns versus no guns situation, bar the rifle into Bolt's hands. So even though the first pick anything would suggest that Reborn still have the upper hand. Okay, still Garda now, limiting your opponents to the pistols. But for how long? Hezekiel shutting down Bisk's life. This Viper's pick can be problematic and cause these HP bars to drop. Reborn have lost their numbers. The classics take over. Blink and you miss it. UCAM have won.
Thrifty.
One rifle for UCAM. They find the pick. And from that, they're confident on investing the showstopper and taking the retake. And it doesn't matter that the steel guarding comes through because most of them are on pistols anyway. It was only Bull that had a rifle, only one that could be affected by the steel guarding. Like you said, blink and you'll miss it. I think 2 ults invested as well. Olizera putting that wipe speed down in the end as well. UCAM, they're back in terms of the numbers.
What's funny though, the Steel Garden is used by Reborn when their opponents only had pistols anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess the impact on that wasn't too big. Yeah, a lot played out in the previous, but let's refocus on this one. Important.
Bisk, I don't think he hasn't gotten any value out of the operator so far in this series.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ollie tried good to go for the 1v1. Doesn't quite work out in his favor. Reborn, do they try and exploit it? No! They move on across the other side of the map and walk over their opponents. Trample over them. Punch their bodies and kick them to the ground. It is violent and quick. And Reborn get the lead once again.
You'll get a round and be like, okay, that was good. We're just on an eco of the Thrifty round. Great. Let's go and win another one. And Reborn says, no, it's going to be flawless. They win every entry duel right there. And Bisk doesn't even get to press his left click with the operator before he's dealt with. And even though the round is so close, or the scores are so close, it seems like Reborn completely on the driver's seat.
Oh, trying to play their opponents' game. UCAM trying to play explosively. Good dagger denying the utility.
What?
But it all comes down to the firepower!
Bring them down.
You may have had the lead at the start, but Batanax gets Paul right back in Reborn's hands. And you're right where you left off. Equal in numbers. And Reborn slowly closing in onto the elected site, and the one that they've chosen to move into is the clearest. No one around in terms of defenders. Doesn't get better than this.
Both of them almost having full utility belt as well. Not like Reborn would actually need it. Nightfall online as well. Oh, if they can position
there's a
Hezekiah
choice.
deep here as well.
Still waiting.
Exactly. There's a choice that they can make here. Let Hezekiah go for a journey. Let the spike go down a little bit later than usual. And allow some odd timings. But no, that's not what happens here. Reborn take the safer route. You can see the pings worrying about a potential push from their spawn. Playing aggressively with a Nightfall. Jesse able to subside it with a TP. Mark Grove's not affecting Jesse. But they are taking their sweet time, and it is resembling a crossfire setup. Hezekiah is alone on this, though, and he's done enough. He hears the TP by Jesse onto the side, down to 1 HP due to the season. Buttonaxe will just nip that one in the bud with a headshot jump with the shorty. Reborn are making statement after statement, and then they've just put themselves on 6.
Great fight from UCAM. I think this has to be talked through. Can you fight even more forward right there? Sure, often you want to take completely control of that rubble. But Batu will punish them for that. UCAM having to go for half buy right here. Jesse is maybe overbuying as well. Look, after that, he will have 800 in the bank, and Deadink once again in the outlaw. Two kills instantly.
I don't think he saw the second player. There's no way he saw the second player. He just wanted to pull the trigger a second time, see what he can get out of it, realizing this might be a push. We are witnessing something spectacular here.
We crushed it.
And UCAM cannot believe what they're playing up against.
There's something? Last round in the half.
Another flawless. He did.
Okay, never mind. He did see it. Never mind.
Barely.
Barely. Just an elbow. But that was slowed down, right? That was
from there.
so slowed down.
Yeah.
We crushed it.
To readjust back to that position. At that point, he doesn't see the race anymore. He doesn't see Biz. He's just so good with that outlaw.
He's too good.
Every time.
Okay. No impact found from the conversion pass. Top of the screen will block out the entry for now for Reborn. Even the null command is used.
Yeah, that's 10 seconds in the round.
So that no longer is available for Ball to use. Big old out. Last round of the half. And UCAM still have some key pieces for a potential retake. Nightfall from the shadows, 2 orbs away from a potential showstopper in this. There is a world where they can get across on this, but Olizera cannot afford to lose his life, and he's been seized in place. He's stuck. I think at least the ball gets 2. Huge. And Olizera able to land a few headshots, but gets phantomed. Unable to turn that headshot into a kill. Leaves Kachao alive, and a 2v3 is now possible for the Turkish squad. Kachao wanted to play aggressive. Nightfall instantly falls. And with this, UCAM thinking when's the best moment to exit. Reezy connects with the first. A 1v2 now left into, but Bisk able to get back into the swing of things. And it's a bit of a theme of UCAM winning the last round of the first half, but it's also been a theme of them losing the match. Will that streak continue?
Player standing.
UCAM have already, collectively in this map, gotten as many rounds as they got this tournament as a whole. Not this tournament, this series as a whole, the first two maps, as it was a 13-2 and 13-3 in the first two. But do they have what it takes to take a map off of Reborn? Do they have what it takes to make this best of 5 competitive? We'll just have to wait and see.
They've been good at the attacking side. Reborn, a different demon to deal with. Especially when you have 4 players waiting on you on the side that you want to go for.
This is whack. Another mid brawl, and of course it's going to be Reborn to win it. I have no words. Speechless. I think we need to go quiet now. This game is speaking for itself. Okay, that's enough quiet. I had enough. Got bored.
Bold?
Yeah, Reborn. But this is ridiculous, and they're making it look clean. Olizera is the only one remaining. And they know where he is. They're just going for the chase. They're going for the run. They want to make sure this is done and dusted. Olizera, don't give him a chance to get confident in the game. And surprise, surprise, hot lead to the face.
I mean, when we talk about the Turkish teams, Challengers EMEA, and the history, you obviously have BBL Pacific. That's the name everyone remembers. But then alongside that, you also have Ulf and Eternal Fire, who all have gone to the grand finals of Challengers EMEA. Some of them even won. And now Reborn, clear as a day, as a favorite to make it through to the grand finals, following in the footsteps of those teams. And who else then? Other than Deadink.
Well,
make sure, okay.
Right now, he's just the first part of his name. But thankfully for him, there are a lot more players around to help out. So, swift first 2 rounds of the half. As we jump into their bonus, which, mind you, on the first map, on Ascent, they were able to win.
On that map, they were able to win almost everything, so...
True.
That's something. They still do have a Phantom in the hands of Deadink.
MP, I'm lying. They didn't even win that one because it didn't come down to it. Because it was 10. Oh, actually, I'm also lying. It did come down to it. It was the last round of the map. I lied twice.
I mean, to be fair, UCAM kind of had to go like a half by full investment in the second round.
Yes, that's fair.
Now they have so much better weaponry. Full rifles from Reborn. That has been deadly as well, the Marshall.
Chow can hear the commotion and lands a shot onto Bolt further away. What spooked you, Cam? It feels like the Vice utility has made them rethink this. And they might be looking into a trap, funneled into A, where 3 defenders are lying in wait. Oh, Deadink. The bravado to stick around there, obviously not able to connect the second one, which means he's fallen into the ground. Blinding. And UCAM wanting to seize the opportunity to aggress. Breezy, yet to be dealt with, but spotted. How much reinforcements can arrive and how quick? Kachao, obviously on the Neon, is here the fastest. Angel's getting Breezy out of position, but still finds a pick onto Bisk, and Batanax arrives for the backline. Famzy has to create something heroic here. He's already found a couple of picks, and with Jesse, they put UCAM in the lead. Batanax, though, is a battle axe, taking UCAM by storm.
Once again, it's Batu who takes that clutch. I think he might have heard me when I think it was back in Ascent when I said Batu has been under the weather, maybe compared against these other players that they have in the roster, because Well, overshadow, maybe is the right term. Because you have Deading, you have Kachao, Hezacoil even, been putting up so big numbers. But right now, Batu in split, incredible, multiple clutches. And right here, putting up the numbers, finding many clutches as well. Reborn, the only team that doesn't have organization in Challengers EMEA. And they're looking for one. They're so hungry, but so is best for the entry.
Oh, indeed. And UCAM need to have a nothing to lose attitude because right now they have everything to lose. Yeah, doesn't quite make sense if you think about it that way. And Hezacoil is not letting them think about what makes sense and what doesn't. Because the moment they see him, they are deleted. Famzi catching Deading by surprise. 2v2. Jesse being low could be detrimental. Nightfall dropping. And Jesse being nearby may be a bit of a surprise. They've now figured it out. A lot of low HP buzz. Jesse holding on. Batanax wanting to play aggressive. He won the clutch previously and now could do it again. Baits out the swing, goes in for another defuse. Will he be sticking it? That is the big question. Hordes and realizes where he is. Famzi down to 5 points of health. The stick of the defuse trying to dance around the bullets. But UCAM hold on for now.
Nearly the king of clutches.
That would have been insane.
That would have been like, what, a fourth one? Already? That's crazy.
One enemy.
And it's, yeah, milliseconds. 0.11 to separate Reborn from that 11th round. But no, UCAM will still survive.
Okay, so that is an aggressive Nightfall thrown in. As soon as they realize UCAM are here in numbers, they make sure that their opponents aren't comfortable enough to take the push. I respect it.
Go, go, go!
Nothing done from the Nightfall.
Sure.
I think the information gathered from that was probably something that Reborn was looking for. Probably for all players, maybe 5 players tagged. I know exactly.
UCAM are trying to go for an organized play here towards this ace side, but Reborn still have plenty of players around for the defense. 3 in total to be exact. Snakebite doesn't quite land by the feet of Reezy, so will they check this corner? Not sure. Still, the push comes through, and Kachao will win first blood. Bisk taking down Reezy, so they do check that corner after all. But here comes the aggression from the rest of the Reborn roster. Famzi is nowhere to be found. Instead, kneeling on the ground as that is over. Reborn closing in on the finishing scoreline.
Great rotation from Reborn. UCAM, I feel like that's been the story of this whole series. They can't do enough pressure on any of the other sides to pull any rotates from Reborn. And the stack is just there. There's 4 players already waiting, 5th one coming in hot. UCAM once again a low buy, Reezy to take the fight forward.
Oh god. I mean, look, it's a pistol. You're in dire straits territory.
One enemy remaining.
Kachao is making this his own personal showreel. Padding up the stats a little bit. Not that he needs it, to be fair. He doesn't need the extra score.
Absolutely not. The question mark whether UCAM can actually take enough rounds to take a 1 map in total.
Nice try.
Right now, that would be a no. That's how dominant Reborn has been throughout these 3 maps. And Kachao. How confident. Overdrive online. Multiple different ultimates for UCAM. Is it quite enough to get that 7th on board?
Well, Reborn are very close to vengeance against Na'Vi Jr. 1 round to be exact. Kachao sees the showstopper approaching and decides to stay still. I was trying to take one down with him. Batanax is around. The spray transfer is superb, but still this is actually a close round given it's a 2v2 scenario. I think Operator. And it's a Battle Operator playing it aggressive. Switches up to the shorty and knows where Jesse is. Thing is, Spike is within the hands of the defender. Jesse needs to make that step forwards, but Deadink, in classic Deadink fashion, staring down on the camera, knowing well what he just did. A 3-0. What has been the quickest best of 5 I've ever casted.
It's
Reborn.
been crazy.
It's insane, MP. It's insane.
I have no words about what happened. This Turkish, I mean, I would say powerhouse has been incredible throughout this. And I can't even say anything. I mean, Pavlos, what?
Yeah, what can you say? Just look back at the Turkish teams that have taken through the Challengers scene by storm. Pacific, Ulf, and now maybe, just maybe, Reborn. We'll be finding about that tomorrow, but before we do that, over to the desk, let's get their thoughts.
Well, I don't think they could have set the stage better for a comeback victory against the team that sent them down to the lower bracket in round 1 here. They will be facing up against Na'Vi Junior tomorrow in a best of 5. And somehow you got to think, if Na'Vi Junior could do that against a team like this, and we said this after their victory against Shoplife as well, that's a pretty scary prospect. But that's all for tomorrow. Right now, we can just sing the praises of Reborn, because what a victory. I mean, decisive doesn't even begin to cover it, Echo.
So many rounds that they should not have won, that they won. So many rounds that were just this mess of Reborn going for picks, going for the confidence plays, and UCAM dealt with it a little bit better than on the previous maps, but not a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you end up with 6 rounds, you don't have enough rounds in a BO5 to win even a single map. When we combine them, it really is a bleak outlook. And I do think that this very much underlines what we've been talking about for months now, and really for years if you go back. We always spoke about Turkish players, but for a long time it was only about Turkish jets. It was about one role, one style of play, and one player per team. And now, and actually, to add to that, when we had Turkish teams, full Turkish teams, it often played as a downside. I mean, Supermassive Blaze did well, and we started to see some high ceilings, but it was more high peaks that weren't stable from Turkish teams. Now we've moved to the Turkish era. We've seen it in VCT. It's like a third of our players are Turkish that went to playoffs. I think it was very, very close to being a majority of players in general at playoffs were Turkish. We're seeing Turkish teams deliver again and again at the highest level, and Reborn are just another symptom of the state of Valorant that we're in right now. And even as we move away from, you know, different duelists being prioritized, it doesn't seem to matter. These guys play in a way that now it seems like everyone else has no other choice but to adapt to.
All right, well, I mean, with that said, I do need to say goodbye to you guys for just a moment, because we do have an interview ready with the victors here. It feels like we just got started with the match, but hello, Reezy, thank you so much for joining me here. I mean, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look, this is it's difficult really to break down what happened, because it happened so quickly. Of course, they didn't even get a full map's worth of rounds over the course of it. What was the secret today? Like, did you just wake up feeling good? Was this a good side from you? Have you been displaying this all tournament?
Honestly, we didn't expect to finish that fast in this match, because UCAM is very favorite team in this tournament, and we have a lose before matches, and we came here from lower bracket also. But it's gone pretty fast actually. We take the momentum on the maps. I mean, we have great confident players, and when they take confidence, they can never be stopped, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Were you happy when they picked Ascent into you, or, you know, like, was that the perfect start for you? Obviously, you know, we've seen your other maps, they're good, but Ascent feels like it was picking right into your kind of your strengths, right? Did you feel that way when you saw the map veto come through?
We didn't expect to play Ascent. I mean, in the first map, but we are waiting for 4th or 5th map. We prepared previously for Ascent, because we know we're gonna play best of 5 matches, and if things go wrong, we are going to from lower. We have no ban choices. That's why we must prepare the Ascent, and we did it. And we changed the agents between me and Batu Jinax. He plays Cypher, I'm playing Sova, like my main role. And we sing in the official. It's very useful, I guess. We did very well on Ascent. We are happy also.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I mean, talk to me about the one loss that you've had so far. Obviously, I think Na'Vi Junior have been an unexpected winner through all these games for everyone involved. We heard from UCAM themselves that they weren't expecting to play them in the upper bracket. I think, obviously, what we've seen from you guys over the course of the tournament so far in the group stage and all of that, we weren't expecting a loss against Na'Vi Junior there either. Was that, you know, a bad day for you guys? Are you coming into the grand finals thinking that you can bring that fight back to them, or are they just, you know, have they surprised you?
Yeah, I can't really underestimate them. They have really good players, and they beat us on the series. We actually didn't expect, honestly, to lose, but it's kind of slap for us. We wake up after that lose, and we taking care a lot the enemies, because Na'Vi Juniors also, there are not many expectations about them, because there are many favorite teams, but they did really good. We have respect to them. We're gonna take revenge tomorrow.
Yeah,
I believe.
Okay,
our
great.
team.
All right, that's basically all I wanted to ask you. I just wanted to know if you're confident about that win. Seems like you are. Well, you have some time now to relax, plenty of time to relax. I mean, you got dealt with that series incredibly quickly, so thank you for having a chat to me, and good luck with the grand finals tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
All right, wonderful. I mean, yeah, that's all you need to hear on that one. Is just, okay, we know something went wrong there. They played well. They caught us by surprise. We're going to get them back tomorrow, Echo.
Yeah, it's having that understanding of the fact that you go into the first one not expecting to lose it, you lose it, and then you're like, okay, slap in the face, we get better, we realize we can't just underestimate people, we need to respect them. But that still doesn't really show in the play style, and that's what I think I love about Reborn the most, is that they are just a team that will disrespect anything and everything thrown at you. You've got a Vice, we're going to play Neon into you for the first time and slide through the vines, and we're going to win anyway. That's what I love about Reborn, and I think going into the grand finals, it's going to be a tough one. It should be a very good match, but if they can bring the same confidence that they brought today, well, they've got a chance.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is funny because we came into this tournament, as we said, even at the start of today, that things didn't go the way that we expected. And the one thing that I think most people were with is UCAM in the finals. Who's going to be alongside them? And well, it looks like a completely different kettle of fish when it comes down to crunch time. One thing I loved hearing from Reezy as well was the fact that you asked him, Twiggy, were you happy to see Ascent in there so early? Were you surprised to see it as well? And he said, you know, they were expecting it to be like that fourth map, to be much deeper. I do respect UCAM for coming out here and trying some different things. Third map being a strength and a BO5 to try to you know, get back into it late, or maybe have a strong closeout if you're already 2 up. But it didn't look good today. It didn't work, and this is the problem with a gamble, right? Sometimes it just doesn't pay off. But I really am surprised that it was this dominant of a win, and this changes my mind completely, because with the way Na'Vi Junior were playing, I was thinking tomorrow I'm favoring them no matter what. But after seeing this level from Reborn and hearing it from Reezy that they're hungry for revenge, hey, we've said it many times, the scariest thing is a Turkish team with momentum, and it looks like that's what we've got here.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a look back at one of the rounds that we just wanted to take a look at. We'll probably just chat over it. I mean, it's standard stuff at this point from Reborn. Another clutch from Batu in this one, but this was ridiculous stuff, Hecko.
Yeah, like, there's no way going into this. I mean, Famzy getting this too is incredible, but then just this here, the confidence of this guy to just swing, pre-fire the lines, and then that final shot onto Famzy, like, this is just typical stuff for Reborn now, but the fact that they can pull this off consistently is what is incredible about this team.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable when you look back at Split as well. Batu, same play, down below, big clutch. It felt like Reborn, the A plan was working the majority of the time, and any time that they hit a hiccup, then the individuals would come out to clutch it up. Like, again, on every facet of the game, it seemed like they were the better prepared team. And I loved also from Reezy saying the idea that they knew that they were going to have to play some extra maps, expand that pool. If they come through lower bracket, you don't have the bans when it comes to the grand final, so you got to be ready for it anyways. They future-proofed their map pool, they future-proofed their approach, and now it's paying off with a huge win here. I don't think you can understate how much that, yeah, Na'Vi got to sit back and watch today's game. That's great.
Yeah.
But what we've seen in Valorant more times than not is it's the team that come in with the wins behind their back, with the momentum, with the officials under their belt. Those are the teams that win. And we even talk about in internationals, when you get to skip the group stage, as that being a disadvantage. A lot of teams have said they'd rather play the group stage and be able to have that little bit of runway to really get up to speed. And that's the thing. Now Na'Vi, if they don't come in up to speed, if they don't come in hot to the touch tomorrow, they're going to be snuffed out quickly by this team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, when I talked to AV the other day, basically, I mean, although he said basically I just play whatever maps they tell me to play, essentially there was confidence in those extra maps, and now that they get those bans from the upper bracket, they can force a breeze, force a fracture, maps that they have been historically very comfortable on, and the other teams in the competition really haven't played as much. But that is your grand final, your top two, Na'Vi Junior coming from the upper bracket and Reborn coming from the lower bracket. Every game we have seen so far has been a blowout, 2 or 3 out of 5 maps. And I mean, look, what do you think for that grand final? I mean, both of you are going to be around for it, either casting or on the desk. Look, Echo, do you have any idea what's going to happen after what we saw from Reborn today?
Hopefully we don't see Na'Vi pick Ascent first or split. That's the most of it for me. Is I do think Na'Vi can come in because they also disrespect their opponents. They go through and just play their own game. That's part of what we heard from AV the last couple of interviews we've had with them, is they play their own game. They don't really heavy and anti. They focus on themselves. And if they can keep doing that, that's the kind of play style that should be able to beat Reborn. But the momentum is strong, and Reborn's individuals, their intuition, they've got more experience. They have, I mean, I can't remember how many, was it 1,000 more officials than UCAM yesterday, I think was the stat that MP pulled up. They have more experience as well on Reborn than Na'Vi do, but Na'Vi's looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, you know, coming into today, like I said, for me, Na'Vi, that upper bracket run, being the surprise factor as well, having the veto advantage, which is huge in a best of 5. It's very difficult to vote against them. But I always have this rule with teams. When I need to see you come back from the lower bracket, I don't want to see you in a competition down there. I want to see you come out as the kings of the lower bracket. And there is no doubt here that Rebound are the ones that had complete control. This is a Reborn, Rebound. They don't need to rebound, although technically they do because they're in the lower bracket. But we'll breeze past that. This is somewhere that I think that because they dominated, I then have faith in them. And adding to it that they're a Turkish team, that they have the momentum, as we've said a million times. It certainly worked today. I have no reason to think it won't tomorrow. The one thing I'm hoping for, probably because I'm casting it tomorrow, is that we get a very, very close game. I don't want to see either team come in and dominate the way we did here today, because this no one likes a blowout like this. Well, maybe the Turkish fans did today, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think if we had had any other result than what we saw, I would be worrying for Reborn in their rematch up against Na'Vi Junior. But the way things are, that is about the best way you can come back up against a team that knocked you down to the lower bracket in quite dominant fashion. So hopefully for Reborn, they carry some of that momentum over through to tomorrow. But for now, for today, if you made a cup of tea at some point during this and you missed the whole stream, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go watch the VOD, because we are done. I've been Twiggy, I've been joined by Echo and Mitch, and of course Pavlos and MP on the cast. So thank you everybody for watching, thank you everybody for getting involved, and we will see you bright and early, not bright and early, it's in the afternoon, but the same time tomorrow, the same place. You're gonna want to see this one. It's gonna be a really good grand final, so we'll see you then everybody. Good night.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. Clutch. Go! One
the chug, this a cakewalk. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, hit 'em talk, let 'em take shots. 007 on the block, keep the aim cocked. Pull up to the spot with the squad, let the bass drop. Laser on the up, brought the chug, this a cakewalk. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, hit 'em talk, let 'em take shots. 007 on the block, keep the aim cocked. What? Check my pedigree, I got legacy in my pot. You playing hopscotch, I'm that top notch on the block. Slip and slide like me, nah. Spice it up with a sauce. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said bah, bah, bah. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said bah. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said bah. Call you up like what you doing? Ride around with the squad, no losing. Link you up with the Reaper, keep it moving. Yeah, they can't do it how we do it. Run it up, can you keep up? Play follow the leader. Big queso, I'm born with the ether, but I still take a heater. No halo, I've been with a handgun. I've been on my King Kong, call payload. I've been on. What? Check my pedigree, I got legacy in my pop. You playing hopscotch, I'm that top notch on the block. Slip and slide like me, nah. Spice it up with a sauce. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said what? Check my pedigree, I got legacy in my pop. You playing hopscotch and that top notch on the block. Slip and slide like me, nah. Cholula with the sauce. Yeah, my Lord said don't do it, I said bah. Straight to the top like a new fade. Come for your neck like a hoop chain. Wish all you want like you blue cakes, but I'm on the road like I move skates. Settle to the top like it's due date, and I'm never gonna stop like LeBron James. Big dreams, yeah, live large. We go hard to play hard. Dream big, live large. I work hard to play hard. I'm coming for the top and I ain't never gonna stop. Oh no. Dream big, live large. Work hard, play hard, go hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, go hard, play hard. Wearing them out like a bootlace, rise to the top like a souffle. I bring the heat like Dwayne Wade, dishing them out like a food tray. Big bars like I move weights, and I'm serving them up like a food plate. Yeah, big dreams, live large. We go hard to play hard. Dream big, live large. I work hard to play hard. I'm coming for the top and I ain't never gonna stop. Oh no. Dream big, live large. Work hard, play hard, go hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, go hard, play hard.
Anytime you clock a butterfly, I flip a switch, keep a secret, let you come inside. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep